welcome backyard crew. We have started the playoffs here at OBL Division 2. Get hype. Starting us off, we've got Team Push versus Fix Your Client, and we're averting our eyes to the top of the bracket. We will see who will be versing Trap Team in the second round. Team Push, starting off, we have Tiger in the top lane, Mordhout in the jungle, Sniffer, potentially related to Swiffer, in the mid lane, Spooky Man ADC, and Spocky on support. And then Fix Your Client, Apex Predator will be residing in the top lane. There is a Yeti in the jungle, Mark G. Sung in the mid, Bosch, ADC, and support Carlos Baron. I'm excited, guys. Are you excited? Because you better be, because this is going to be a banger of a series. As we get ready for draft, I'm not too sure what to expect from these two teams on the Rift. I do know that they are coming out swinging. It has been a good season in Division 2. Plenty of high-level plays and plenty of standout performers. So, we will see how it all unfolds on the Rift at the top of the bracket here. Now, this will be a single elimination tournament. So, once you're out, you're out. So, the pressure will be on both of these teams to really show out and perform. Now, let me know in the chat, who are you supporting? Who are you going for? As I see, for Team Push, Spooky. Sorry, have I spelled something wrong? Oh, yes. I've spelled that wrong. Let me change that for you real quick. I was typing it out really quick as this was a very last minute assignment for myself. Let me see. Alright. It looks like everything is in order. Sorry if any of the names are mispronounced too long, and I hope the intros did you guys justice. But I want to see if the play will do justice to what you're repping. But yeah, plenty of good names in here. Hopefully I don't mispronounce anything during the game. I think we've cleared up any of the name misconceptions. But we're gonna swap over to the draft screen right now and see what these teams are putting down. Alright, so on the blue side, we will have Fix Your Client, and Team Push will be on the red side. Now, I'm not too sure if these teams are playing around with the whole aspect of first pick and last pick counter pick, or if they're just going to try and send team comps that they find comfortable. We'll probably see in this first draft phase if there are any one-trick ponies on either teams, getting rid of some picks and interesting bans on each side. So we will have to see what unfolds. Many good champs on this patch, as we've just hit a new patch where things like Orianna, Azir, and Talia, the three sort of staple mid laners, have been all nerfed. I'm not too sure if they're going to be the most impactful champions in this Division 2 of play, but you never know. Orianna is a versatile champ. Talia, a little harder to play, and Azir, even harder to play. So we'll see if that really affects any of the champ pools. They're all readying up the draft, so we should see some bans and picks coming through any second now. We will have to wait and find out. So, first ban comes out. It is the Thresh and the Caitlyn. So that is a nice little CC bot lane. A impressive bot lane is put in the right hands. Mundo, pretty classic ban right now. Lulu, good. Very good with everything. A really strong support that can pair with a lot of different auto attackers. And a Malphite and a Sylas. A couple jungle bans being thrown in there. A couple flex top laners. And Seraphine first pick. Very strong first pick. Goes well paired with the Ashe. So we might see that later in the draft. But as far as it goes, Seraphine is a pretty solid first pick. Not many things counter that. The Thresh can get in the way of that, but that's been banned out. Something like a Blitzcrank, a Nautilus, things that can engage from a little bit of range, and they can get their CC off without the double empowered E from the Seraphine getting in the way of things too much. We'll see what the answer is for Team Push, and it will be Zaheen. A very hard drain tank in the top lane is quite hard to get out of the way. Can slot into the jungle role as well, so we could be seeing Mordhau picking that one up rather. I just need to get all my names correct and get familiar with these teammates. And we'll see the second pick coming through any second now. So they will be blind picking the Syndra. Not too many bad matchups for Syndra. Oh, an MF. So they've got a fairly immobile bot lane here, so punishing that with a lot of mobility, a lot of CC could be good. The Syndra, quite good into that. Can hit the long range, scatter the weaks onto the Misfortune, disrupt that ult combo, but a nice little wombo combo coming up from Fix Your Client. The Seraphine ult into the bullet time can be a devastating combo. But flicking over as well, the team fighting is answered well. You know, the Grim Deliverance from the Zaheen is quite powerful, and then also a big scatter the weak can definitely disrupt a team fight. Jax being picked up, now it's a nice flex pick, can either slot into the jungle or the top lane. So there's not too many things being revealed from this draft so far in terms of the solo lanes, apart from the Syndra of course. But that's, you know, it's a pretty solid blind pick. I'm surprised Fix Your Client didn't pick their mid laner as a response in this first part of the draft. It's now, they can get rid of a couple harder matchups for the Syndra. There's not many out there, as I was saying, but the second ban phase could be used to just, you know, clear out some mid laners. But I'm assuming that Sion will be going into the top lane, so it looks like we do have our top lane all sorted for Team Push, or top side of the map all sorted for Team Push. Sion top, Zaheen jungle, and Syndra mid. It's a very interesting way this draft is unfolded, because now bans can be quite targeted. It's a Braum getting out of the way of the Seraphine's quite good, can put up the wall against both the bullet time and the Seraphine ult to disrupt that. That is banned away. But yeah, they're leaving each other plenty of room for counter picks and counter play. The Yunara as well, very powerful pick. Yeah, so as this draft shapes up, it is very interesting to see how, compared to the Division 1 style of play, the Division 2 handles their drafts. It's less about sort of counter-picking lanes, it's more about counter-picking comfort, rather, and seeing what picks fall into the lap of each other, because, you know, they're not really pushing to disrupt any champion pools right now, apart from maybe banning out a couple more relaxing picks like the Caitlyn, the Mundo, the Lulu. And so we do have a Xayah, so quite a short range option. I don't know if I like that too much into the Misfortune and the Seraphine. Obviously you can ult to dodge the Seraphine ult, but you know, it's not going to be too strong into the MF, as I feel like MF can bully her out of lane with the right positioning, get a couple of those double ups off the minions, can punish the short range ADC, especially with no other mobility apart from that ult, the Featherstorm. The Ahri, a really nice pick to follow up. That goes quite well into the Syndra. Can sort of just farm away and then out roam her, potentially get into those side lanes and affect the map. But yeah, so far I think Fix Your Client's got a little bit more of a well-rounded team comp. They're accounting for a couple different things. You know, they've already got such crazy team fight power with the Misfortune and the Seraphine that can opt for a little bit more single target damage, and that's where the Jax and the Ahri come in. Ornn to top it all off. And yeah, so it's interesting to see that they did go for the Ornn last pick. They already knew kind of what they were versing in the top lane. So instead of the Jax, they potentially could have gone for that Ornn, but maybe the Jax is a comfort pick for Yeti in the top lane. And then Rakan, perfect pairing to Xayah. Again, not sure why they had to say that for last pick, but here we are. So yeah, as we see the two team comps shaping up, what I can see visually is Team Push has gone for a really nice thematic red team comp with their splash arts. You know, Sion's got a nice red splash art. Zahen is also nice and red, and then obviously Zyre and Rakan are in the same splash, so they will be able to be nice and thematic with the red. Unfortunately, the Syndra is looking a little bit purple right now. I'm not too sure what kind of AP caster, AP mid laner, which has a red background, could have slotted in. I think color palette wise, Neferi splash art would look really nice right now, slotted in there under the Zahen. But yeah, then you look over at Fix Your Client, and it's a bit of a wish-wash. There's a little bit of blue colorings in there, you know, the Ahri, the Jax, a little bit of red blending in there, the Misfortune hair with the Ahri outfit, the Ornn. Yeah, I mean, color-wise, color palette-wise, Team Push has got the edge in this draft. But we will see if the colors actually matter at all coming into this. And we will be repeating the pick and bans, which will be going over on the client, so we will get a little bit of extra time to talk about these drafts. Obviously, I'm doing a solo cast again, so we may get off tangent a bit sometimes. We might have a little bit of fun on the stream here. Make sure to keep me company in chat if you are in chat. Let me know. Say hello. Say how's it going. Tell me your best joke, and I will rate it from 1 to 10. And the best joke winner will get we'll decide at the end of the stream what the winner of the best joke in chat will get, and that can be passed on to the admin team, and you can be gifted a big prize. It might be, you know, a nice letter, handwritten letter in the mail from me. It might be a poem from me. You never know. It's actually going to be a surprise. Alright, as I waffle on, everyone is getting into lobby, everyone is picking their champs, and we're going to have to still wait for the 3-minute spectator delay. So, let me know. What do you think of these two team comps? Do you think the color coordination from Team Push gives them some form of edge? Or is the team fighting kind of a balanced team comp from Fix Your Client looking a bit better? And one of the chatters says is they have picked away the Seraphine from Wookiee for sure. So that could have been a nice little play on the first pick, taking away a main champion right off the bat. And Team Push potentially thought they pulled a fast one, letting that one go through bans, but really it was a secret first pick. But yeah, nothing too crazy on the board in this first game. Obviously the Zahen, super strong pick. We've been seeing that a lot through the OBL lately. A lot of teams opting to pick this one up. Really good team fighting power, and especially if the coordination's not all there and is hyper locked in on the Zahen, then it's hard to take him down. If he's able to get this passive up, he can extend fights quite a while. He's got a pretty decent clear at the moment as well, so he'll easily be able to outpace the Jax in this early game. The Jax is definitely good into it as well. Can dodge those first 3 hits and the knockup, just like a Xin Zhao. So yeah, it will be a good little counter pick into that. But come mid game, I think definitely Fix Your Client has the edge. They've got a lot of team fight power. They've got a lot of pick potential, and that will be before the Syndra can stack up all of his shards and can get that sort of unleashed power executing the low health targets. But come late game, the Sion's going to be huge, and also there isn't a crazy amount of skills that can really hard punish this Zahen. You know, you want to be using the charm potentially on the Syndra or the Zyra, or maybe even on the Rakan to try and disrupt his engage. But the Zahen is going to be kind of free hitting, you'd think, unless he gets caught in a big bullet time, which is also a possibility as well. The Ornn Horn can catch people straight into the bullet time, straight into the Seraphine ult, and can unleash a pretty devastating combo. But yeah, apart from the Syndra, Team Push is lacking a little bit of range. A little bit of range to deal with the Seraphine and Misfortune. They have to commit quite a lot just to get on this backline. But I guess that's what an unstoppable force can get you. You know, if you're able to slide through a couple or come from a side lane or come from the mid lane down to a dragon or a Baron fight, you can get a lot of backline access. And because Team Push do have the red side, that means they'll get pretty good access to these early dragons. So they won't have to hop over the wall. The extra little bit of movement and gap closing and wall jumping abilities won't be as impactful for these dragons, but come Baron, it's going to be quite a hard time for Team Push to get into the Baron pit, as they will have to access it over the wall. Alright, so all the champs have been picked. Now we just got to wait 3 minutes for this lobby. And I will leave you guys to mull over these team comps for a little bit, as I do grab a little glass of water and get myself ready to settle in for some Division 2 action. Alright, we are back in action, and we've got 30 seconds left on the spectator delay, and then we will be jumping into our first playoff game of the OBL season. It will be in Division 2, and if you're just joining us, it will be Fix Your Client versus Team Push. Both of these teams coming to us from the OBL Division 2. Top of the bracket, this will decide who is versing the trap team in that second round of the playoffs. As we jump into game, my client is booting up. The players are already on the rift. We're a little bit behind, but we'll have to catch up with them after the game as well and see how they all enjoyed the proceedings. Let's just wait till my client pops, and then we can make a quick transition.
Military tech. Fun.
It is fun.
That's what I like to hear.
Ooh, okay. That was scary for a second. My whole screen was black, and I thought we might have to miss a little bit of action, but no. Ooh, but the health bars are looking a little bit flat. Your eyes do not deceive you. I do not think that PSH Sniffer has 100 health on the dot, because he will get one hit by a single REQ. But yeah, looking at how everything is set up, we do have the first strike on the Syndra. Is a really nice way to start off. You can proc that pretty easily on the Ahri in this lane. Electrocute, always on the Ahri, can get a quick and easy proc off on that with both of her spells, either the W or the Q. We'll just see if the spectator bug. So if you guys are getting annoyed by the health bars on the red side, let me know and I can try and make a quick fix. But otherwise, it looks like the health bars are reacting normally to taking damage, so it's purely a cosmetic issue. But yeah, so we do have Bosch and Carlos Baron in this bot lane, and they're going to be abusing their range early to try and get this level 2 and get some advantages. And in the top lane, a classic wet noodle battle will be going on. Ornn does do pretty good damage into opposing tanks, and the Scion does have good percentage damage on his W, so the wet noodle won't be too intense. But yeah, everything's shaping up pretty normally. Both junglers on the top to bottom rotations. Team Push does know where the Jax is currently, as they do have some pretty good vision set up on the jungle to see where the pathing is shaping up. Turret hit on the Ornn, so he tried to get a little bit of damage off, but ended up losing that trade. Everything is looking pretty normal. Pretty normal. Good trading going down. It's probably going to force the Scion out pretty early. The Scion has opted for the grasp, isn't able to get many procs off on the Ornn without him getting the brittle procs into the auto attacks done. And a pretty classic clear from both junglers. Ooh, almost reset that buff to the Jax, but looks like the Jax and the Zahin pretty much the same time. It looks like they have found tracking on the Zahin. They do know he is bot side as well, so as we get towards this scuttle, we'll see if they do duke it out for it, or if one of them just takes a reset and goes for the top side. I think the Jax might have the edge in the early game. Both going for the red scuttle as well, the red jungle item as well, so they're looking to do damage and get damage done. Ahri's coming down to assist the Zahin, so that is good from the mid laner, while the Syndra just looks to push out the lane, maybe get a little bit of advantage. But the nice charm and the ignite onto the Zahin is going to force him out. There's a lot of investment just to force him off that, but there might be just enough to secure Jax both of these scuttles, which is going to be huge with getting him ahead of the pace. A good trade going down onto the Xayah. The Featherstorms do come back and trade back. So there's a little bit of argy-bargy going across the lanes, but nothing coming from it yet. Just 100, 200 gold lead now for the side of Fix Your Client. Oh, a nice grand entrance just to get the knockup, but still loses the traders. The Xayah is trying to farm under turret. Health bar is looking quite grim, and as you see, the power of the Seraphine MF bot lane is doing quite a lot. They've got a decent amount of range, and with not much damage on the Xayah already, you can't really threaten too much early game. So they're going to take this B, 30 CS, 30 CS. No leads coming across the board too much, so we might see the big tips of momentum coming around these dragon fights, coming around these grub fights. I do think that the Rakan will probably start looking to find some roam opportunities around level 6 when the Xayah can sort of fend for herself with that ult, with that Featherstorm. And that being said, Rakan, very good roamer, can get some good ganks off and can contest these early grubs. His kit really facilitates a lot of good pre-level 6 roaming as well. Level 6 being hit for this Ornn. He will be securing that cannon minion as well to boot. He's just chilling. The Null Magic Mantle is coming out from the Scion, so he might be looking to get that early Hollow Radiance just to get a little bit more wave clear. which is a pretty good pick. I do prefer that over the Sunfire Cape. As for the Sunfire Cape, you need to sort of hop into melee range and just stand next to people to get value from that. I think it's a little bit of an outdated item. I hope Riot does look at Sunfire Cape as an item and try and, you know, do something to spice it a little bit up, because I feel like Hollow Radiance 99% of the time is a better option. If you are versing AD, Sunfire Cape as an early option isn't even that good in that case either, because yeah, you just have to overcommit to get it off, and then the Hollow Radiance is way too insane. Now we do see the Spirit Rush coming out, trying to get a kill onto Sniffer. The charm misses, and the pings will go down for that ability going on cooldown.
Now let's try a real target.
Spooky Man and his friend Spooky. Just trading out in the bot lane, nothing really coming too much. I do think that they should definitely try and get a lot more prio. Oh, a nice scatter of the week over the wall, just sensed him, just smelt him out. Just knew that Ari was trying to get a cheeky charm over the wall while the charge up Decimating Smack hits, just Decimating Strike hits onto the Apex Predator. And after this series, we will see if he lives up to his name. Is he the Apex Predator in the top lane, or is he just another animal on the food chain? We will see. More trading going out on the mid lane. The pace of this game going slow. I think both teams are feeling the pressure, not wanting to overextend too much, not wanting to abuse their lane advantages too much. I think Apex and Tiger are both enjoying that as they get to just, you know, get some value out. Oh, the nice Unstoppable Force coming out. The Decimating Smash gets flashed away from Apex Predator. So we've got a little bit of Summoners burnt and a couple of cooldowns burnt as well. But Apex Predator will just take that B. We'll definitely take that one kindly. As I'm surprised that Tiger hasn't gone for this Heartsteel. Potentially just an easy lane. Oh, a nice ult combo coming out, but the Featherstorm just dodges that one quite easily. Spooky and Spooky. The Spooky bot lane having to burn a couple cooldowns just to get away from that. The heal is used as well. Featherstorm used, but both the bullet time and the Seraphine ult is popped. So try and get a little bit of damage off between those two. Empowered E just going a little bit wide. Now a tiny bit of an advantage is starting to mount for Bosch in this bot lane. 74 CS 268. As that wave crashes, Spooky Man will catch up a little bit. Scatter the Weak into the double ability combo will get some good value from that first strike. So a little bit of extra gold being made just from trading with this Ari in the mid lane. Now Ari is still this patch the most played mid laner and the highest win rate mid laner. So definitely, oh, a nice pick onto Mordhau. Gets flashed away by Yeti, and that will be the first dragon going over to the side of Fix Your Client. I think that one's going to get taken away pretty easily, as the Zahen and the Zaya have gone B just to pick up some items. They're going to live to fight another day and potentially grab the next dragon and contest it. As the Featherstorm is down, there's not too much point in trying to go for that one. Now this Jax is starting to snowball. He's starting to get a good lead. Got a decent amount of CS over the Zahen. And getting that first dragon. So it looks like Mordhau is going to try and get something back going on this top side. Maybe get these grubs. Oh, Spirit Rush just dodging that Scatter the Weak there. As Spooky has made his way into the mid lane to try and get a good roam off. We'll be seeing if he's trying to get up. Oh, a nice cancel on that E from Tiger, as it looks like First Blood might be coming out here. The flash is down. The Grim Deliverance to finish it off. First Blood to Mordhau. After he had to blow his flash down by Blue Buff, there's a nice little answer back. Making sure that they're on the map and his presence is being shown. It's a good start for the Zahen, but it looks like the Grand Entrance is going to hit onto the Seraphine. The Feather Callback is going to hit. Featherstorm out as well. Carlos Baron makes it up by the skin of his teeth, but the nice Seraphine ult into the double snare. Oh, the Grand Entrance hits back. It looks like the Feather Pull will get back, and barely getting away is Spooky. But then Carlos Baron just walks up on low HP and gets hit with the Sheen proc Zaya order. Interesting play there. I think he might have not realized the HP he was on, but looks like that is a good start for the side of Push. Getting the kills. They are ramping up that 1,000 gold lead here at 10 minutes. Not too much. Is still quite negligible. As you know, there are a couple of CS advantages going over for either Yeti in the jungle and Misfortune in the bot lane. Just a 5 CS lead. Nothing too crazy. And we've gone back to a bit of a stalemate. There's some really nice vision that Spooky has put in this bot lane, really keeping good tabs of this Jax, making sure he isn't affecting too many lanes. Yeah, he can farm up pretty freely, but they're going to know when he tries to make a play where it will be, and potentially even set up a nice counter gank, because I think that's really where the bread and butter is going to be, is you know, jumping on this, using a scatter the weak when it's not expected, using a Zehen W when it's not expected, and just jumping on him, getting the kill back. And he does know the jungle camp spawn timers are a little bit off from this Jax, which is it's quite unfortunate, as he does want to keep power farming up. Just got 1 stack left on his jungle mission, and then he will be in a good spot. Ooh, a nice scatter the weak, just to scare him off from the lane, potentially revealing that, you know, there is some vision in the jungle. You might have to watch out for it. Quest being completed for the top laners. Looks like Spooky is going to try and go in and get the knock up onto the Seraphine. But nothing to it. Nothing to it. So far, not too much to it. You know, most of the plays that each team have made have resulted in a kill, either way. And that being their 2 kills on the board means not many plays being made at the moment. Hopefully the confidence will start to build and some plays will start getting made between these two. I really want to see this Ari try and make some plays in the bot lane. Maybe they need to clear some vision out from this tri-bush, but as we see now, Spooky on this Rakan has had some really good vision in this bottom side, and it's starting to get cleared out. There's 3 control wards in this bottom quadrant, sort of making sure that they can't get too many plays down on this bot side. Sniffer trying to sniff something out in this bot side as well. I think both flashes being down on the side of Fix Your Client is going to be a good play, as the Jax is jumping onto the Sound. Probably just going to flash over the wall here. Might follow. Nope. That's all he needs to get out of that trade. A nice flash pop from the Jax, and he's doing some good damage already. You know, the Scion is quite bulky, but not really going to be able to compete with the Jax. It looks like he'll probably get the Sundered Sky next, and then into the Zhonyas. Classic tried and true Jax build. Can't really go wrong with it. Carlos Baron gonna clear out the dot bush ward, as we do return to a little bit of stalemate. The Unstoppable Force is getting used top. Is maybe gonna try and get a really quick push off on this wave, get some plates. It is 3-3. Oh, the charm just going wide. Malignus now finished on the Ari. Will she dive under the tower? No. Spooky is there just to make sure nothing goes too crazy. But yeah, a nice little ult usage from the Scion. Is able to get 2 plates pretty easily while clearing this wave. And he's tanking up the tower. But yeah, good little trade. Good little gold injection for the Scion. And it's interesting he has gone for the steel caps. You know, not a lot of auto attackers. The Jax may hit a couple times, but he will be doing a lot of AP damage with those combos and with those auto attacks. Whereas the MF's not going to be auto attacking the Scion too much. I think he'd get a lot more value out of a Merc Treads purchase here, as the Dragon does go over to Team Push. So they've traded back. That first one was just given up because they knew they were going to be able to contest the second one and get that one pretty easy. Yeah, I think the Scion will probably get that first turret. He's getting a lot of demolish value so far. But looks like Mordhau has found an angle onto this bot lane. The MF is trotting away, but a nice double ult, potentially going to turn a nice grand entrance into the feather pullbacks. They get the kill onto Carlos Baron again, and the Jax is going to go in, Counter-Strike landing onto 2. Mordhaus going in for more. A nice knock-up pulled away by the by the Zahen, but the revive is getting targeted and ready. But nice heads-up play. 2 really crucial knock-ups, both from the Zahen W and from Spooky's Rakan grand entrance. Unfortunately, the second grand entrance being pulled away from. Oh, the charm just missed as Mark Ji-sung is going to go down to the unleashed power. That was a little bit of a greedy play by him. Did not have the ult advantage and didn't have the damage advantage. He died with both ignite and flash still up. So maybe if he had committed a little bit harder with the ignite, he might have got that off. But did just go down to that unleashing of power. And now the Syndra got the upgraded boots, got the dark torch and the shadow blackfire torch. Sorry guys, it has been a very long day. Very tiring day. Unfortunately, I woke up and my cat was in a bit of a bad state. But right now, he is in the corner because he had a little bit of a surgery done, and they have put a little fentanyl patch on his paw. So he is currently fent folding in the corner right now. His brother, the other cat, is very curious as well. So everyone put your prayers up and your swift recoveries for my cat Rick. He is doing well and he's vibing out in the corner. Now it looks like the first tower might go down. Carlos Baron is going to get caught under tower. This will be a pretty easy kill for the Xayah. Picks that one up. And a killing spree for the Xayah. So even after all of the lane pressure from Bosch and Carlos Boom and the Featherstorm coming up is going to get pulled back, and that's another kill onto Spooky, man. He has unleashed this game. As all of, I do like how the team comp is shaping up for the side of Fix Your Client. But all of the lanes for Team Push are turning out really well. And even though he's not playing Mundo, Tiger is pushing top lane. Sion is an awesome champ for getting a good push off. Looks like Sniffer is sniffing out a tower to buy some more gold. He's going to get that Shadow Flame next, and he's going to be doing a lot of damage. Herald getting popped in this bot lane is going to pick up another tower. And it'll look like interesting Seraphine ult there, maybe just a little bit of a warning shot. But yeah, 0-7. Team Push is taking a commanding lead in this game. Around 5k, around 4k, 4 and a little bit, okay. As a dive is being set up under this bot lane, the tower hasn't gone down yet. Scatter of the Week used quite early, won't be able to use that for the rest of this play. But looks like the Jax is in tow, and Team Push are just going to back off. Could have been a nice play, but I think they just used a couple of their assets a little bit early. And Mark Ji-sung is going to be getting a little bit back onto this mid lane. Going to crack a couple of plates down, get some gold into the pocket. This Ornn, not up to much. I think this Ornn wants to be team fighting, wants to be doing a little bit more. Doesn't necessarily want to be side lane trading with this Sion, as you see. Sion doesn't really care anymore. He's just going to keep pushing. He's just going to keep ignoring this Ornn. Doesn't really do enough damage to affect him. Tower, though, finally being picked up for Fix Your Client. So that's a little bit of gold into the MF. Has picked up the Bloodthirster. Potentially a collector first item. Yeah, it looks like that will be a collector second item as well. This is Jax. Blade of the Ruined King. Potentially as a second option. Not too sure how I feel about that one. As really, the Sion is the only heavy HP stacker. I feel like a Sundered Sky, buying a little bit extra time for this MF, for this Ari to get off their damage, would be a good option. But, I think he thinks he needs to potentially hard carry this game. Oh, the Sion ult goes wide. Now he's up shit creek without a paddle. A really nice combo coming off. A nice wombo combo. It's going to catch 2 as the Xayah slips away. But there's the team fight comp. And there is Fix Your Client's way back into the game. Bosh! That's a really good one. I wonder what Bosch's Chinese takeaway order is right now, because he is currently taken out the whole of Push, and that'll be Dragon number 2 going over to the side of Fix Your Client. A nice heads up play, and the gold lead is cut down to 2 now. Really nice making use of that teamfight comp. Tiger has been getting a little bit bored in the top lane, and the boredom drove him straight under the tier 2 tower, and he really was up shit creek without a paddle. And it looks like that is going to be something for Team Push to think about now. Hey, we don't actually have a good teamfight advantage. Maybe we keep playing these side lanes, you know. There is no teleport on the Syndra, so we can't really leave her there for too long. But she can definitely hold her own against this Ahri very easily. First death coming onto Spooky Man. Not too sure where the shutdown went. Looks like it went over to the Jax, and he has picked up the Blade of the Ruined King. So that is a scary Jax. Oh, it looks like Carlos Baron is caught out again, but the Counter-Strike used to just peel him away. A little bit of vision wars, and Sniffer is getting jumped on by Mark. Mark blowing the flash and the ghost. So it looks like Mark isn't far enough behind to not get those solo kills. He hasn't bought his upgraded boots yet. So that is potentially something he could pick up next that might give him just that little bit of extra power he needs to get picks. Make sure if you're watching this game, guys, and you see any big plays, clip it. I will go back and clip them myself. You know, that big team fight catch back then I will probably clip. But if you see anything or hear anything from me, you know, sometimes I say the odd thing that is clippable. Mainly me calling Swedish Aussie, Swedish Housey for about 20 minutes. That was definitely a little bit of a blunder from me. But I almost call Spooky, Spwacky, Spooky every time. It just reads that way. But I have been informed that the UWU is an uwu, so we'll keep that in mind. But yeah, we've returned to a little bit of calmness as the grand entrance combo with the ult is coming in, and the pullback of the feathers is going to be used. Carlos Baron going very low, the bullet time taking him down very low as well. Featherstorm not needing to be used. Another nice pick from this Rakan. Is very good at this game. Mark Ji-sung thinks they've found the Zahen, but the Zahen's just going to walk that off. Not too many plays materializing anything for this Ahri. I think needs to just be a little bit more aggressive potentially and really try and abuse the map control that it can offer. 2.2k on the board for Team Push as Tiger is pushing this up. Now, depending where you live, the Tiger is the apex predator of the jungle. You know, I think in these sort of subtropical regions, definitely around the equator, your Indias, your Sri Lankas, your Pakistans, your Chinas, the Tiger is a bit of oh, it looks like the decimating smash is going to catch out Carlos again. He's been a little bit of a free kill this game. 0-5 on the Seraphine, potentially trying to take this counter pick away without actually having too much committal on it. Oh, it looks like the Baron will be started, as I won't get a carry on my Tiger chat, as I don't think Fix Your Client has any idea. They're going to start sniffing this out now. It's not going down that quickly. They will be able to contest this one, as the Ornhorn will probably come out any second now. There it is. It is called, and the Zaya's getting caught out. They go in, the Baron gets stolen by Jax, and Jax is in the mix. He's going to be hitting. Mark gets a kill on the backside, and he gets the reset down. The Tiger is going down to the apex predator, and it looks like Mark is hunting out and sniffing out some more. They didn't even have MF or Seraphine in that fight, and they managed to go 3-for-0 while stealing the Baron. A disastrous play from Push. I think that was the right play there from Mordhau and co, but unfortunately the smite was missed. I'm not sure if it was even used there. I think it was just a straight steal from the Jax. As they're going to push down this mid lane and probably get another tier 2 off this as well, as the Demolish prop is ready to be popped and the tower will go down. All 5 are still grouped. I think it would be wise to send one away. Yeah, there we go, as the tower will take more damage with only 4 there. And the dragon will be up again soon. Here it is now, and it looks like Team Push will probably be available to try and counter this one out, as it will be soul point for Fix Your Client. But it looks like they're not going to be able to clear vision fast enough. They are roaming as 5, and it looks like it's going to be a nice ult combo coming down. It's a huge team fight. Everyone is getting wiped off the face of the planet. The team fight comp from Fix Your Client is going crazy, and it looks like Mark has found his feet in this series. Wow, a really nice start from Team Push is being abused in these team fights. Some really nice bullet times, getting maximum value off of all 5 members there, and they're going to be grouped up in 5. I don't know if they can finish this game, but an inhib for sure is on the menu. And unfortunately, Sniffer on this Syndra, you know, had a really good laning phase, was able to pick up quite a lot of CS, quite a lot of gold, but just having 0 impact in these team fights. And Rabadon's is almost purchased from this Ari. I am liking this this Jax build. He's going for the Wit's End. I think Wit's End is a super undervalued item, especially with that little bit of extra tenacity. Can help out with the Featherstorm, the pullback, stun, and all that kind of stuff. So you can just keep running forward onto this Xayah. But yeah, it's interesting to see how this is unfolding, as it was a 0-7 lead for the side of Team Push, and now we've flipped the switch. It's 11-9, and there is a massive gold lead surmounting, and the dive onto the Scion is all but happening right now. It looks like he might survive. The Tiger is going to go down. The Apex Predator showing who's boss again. Unfortunately, this Scion is getting bashed around a little bit. He was having his way in the split pushing, but it looks like the side lane is being a little bit underutilized, and the vision is not compensating. I hope we don't see Push falling apart too much here, because they definitely do have a couple avenues back into this game. This Ari steps forward a little bit too far. This Bosch on this MF steps forward a little bit too far and just gets popped. And potentially, like the Seraphine, you know, Carlos has been getting caught out in transition between lanes, trying to get some warding down by himself. So there is possible ways back into this game. They will soak up a little bit of gold and a little bit of XP from these super minions in the bot wave. Not as much as previous patches, but it was always a nice way to, you know, finish that Rabadon that I'm sure that the Syndra is thinking about. Getting definitely a bit of item envy from what's going on over on the side of Mark Ji Sung, the Korean legend. Potentially the Korean legend, I'm not too sure. Nice grand entrance just to stop that, but a nice... Oh, just gets dodged out. Carlos has been pretty on point with these Seraphine ults, just looking for a pick rather than a team fight. And I think they are a lot better served going for team fights rather than these sort of these picks on single champs, you know, setting up for these objectives. They've just got so much power with this bullet time Seraphine ult combo that why would they even try to go for picks and potentially have to use their CC, have to use their damage on less than 4 people. Now with these super minions coming in, the gold lead has been equalized to some degree. Nothing too crazy. But the Syndra is able to farm up and get that Rabadon, so a lot of damage is coming out. I am a little bit worried about her getting caught out though. You know, she does have the flash, she does have the ghost, but one charm and it will be all she wrote for the Syndra. So maybe a Banshee's or a Seeker's Arm Guard could be next on the menu for the Syndra. As we see 3 items on the Xayah in a good position, 3 items also on this MF. But those are a big 3 items: Collector, Infinity Edge, and a Bloodthirster. That's a lot of damage. As it looks like they will be rolling around together. It will be a sort of a 4-1 situation. 4 people ARAMing it up in the mid lane, while the 2 top laners look to just get some split pushing off, look to get some farm off. But the base is open in this bot lane. I think that's where they really sort of want to create some pressure on the map, as potentially... Oh, the ARAM is going to be popping off here as all 5 are in the mid lane. A nice get of the week. The Shards popper at 15%, and it's a really good pick. And a flash out of the way of the Seraphine. Oh, the bullet time's coming in, but it's nothing to it. And it looks like Team Push is making a push for a comeback. This Jax is huge, though. Can anyone stop this guy? Yeti is kiting. Yeti is kiting. Oh, the Counter-Strike is dodging a lot, but it's not going to be enough. A huge shutdown going to the Zahen. And Bosch is firing. Will they be able to get enough damage off to kill the Zahen? Oh, a nice auto attack. Collector proc. And it's going to be a 3 for 3. What a hectic team fight. A nice pick on the side of Sniffer. It's making use of that Scatter of the Week. Has got the Shards online, so is able to. But as I say that, one Nexus tower is down in this bot lane. So, not the greatest. And it looks like it's going to be a free soul for the side of Fix Your Client. And that Infernal Soul is going to be doing numbers on this MF. Has got a lot of AD in the bag, and it's going to be increasing all of that AD. So there's going to be 3 Infernal Drags, all increasing the damage by 5%. So this MF ult is going to be doing massive numbers if a little bit of CC gets laid down. Looks like they're going to pick that one up. Push, just a little bit unaware. But, you know, as I said, they're not out of it just yet. This Xayah is doing good damage. And this Syndra is only getting stronger. Looks like they're going to be going for a Cosmic Drive as their 4th item. Not a bad option. You know, can use a couple of abilities. Get a little bit of a speed boost to try and dodge out on some of this Ahri damage. But, you know, with the flash down and the ghost down from Sniffer, he is going to be easy pickings. And if you look over on the side of Team Push, there's not many summoner spells leading into this Baron fight. Albeit there's not too many on Fix Your Client, but it's less on them to dodge things, you know? What do they have to dodge? The Rakan ult, the Rakan knock-up, potentially the Scion ult. Scatter the Weak can be quite strong, but unless they have thrown the Unleashed Power out first and have a lot of balls down, looks like Apex Predator might be getting caught. But a huge Seraphine ult catches 3, and they're absolutely blown up. Just when you thought that Push had a way back into this game, the MF just absolutely annihilates them. And that's probably going to be game, unless Tiger has some kind of crazy play. Another great Seraphine ult is catching them out in the mid lane, and then it's going to be a perfect team fight. The big Decimating Strike comes down, but he's going to be going down as well. Oh, buffering the CC nicely with the Unstoppable Force. There is 2 minions left, and another wave coming in. It's just 1 Nexus Tower. They're going to be going down, and they're going to be taking game 1. Fix Your Client coming back from an early deficit to take game 1. What an awesome game. Some beautiful team fighting from Fix Your Client. Unfortunately, Push just didn't have the tools that they wanted and they needed to get it done. Huge game. Huge game. Definitely Bosch on that Misfortune. An absolutely dynamite pick for them. And it looks like actually the Ornn did the most damage that game. So shout out to Apex Predator. Did make me stand corrected on who I thought was the real Apex Predator, you know. Tiger was looking quite strong in the side lane. Actually had some good side lane pressure, but, you know, he went for the Hollow Radiance. He went for the Unending Despair, and he went for the Jack Show. Trying to be a team fight threat, trying to be that big meat wall to stand in the middle of everyone, but might have been better to opt for some more split pushing items. Get that Titanic Hydra early. Get that Hull Breaker potentially early, and get some more split push pressure down when he realized that team fighting wasn't their way to victory. But beautiful Seraphine ults from Carlos Barron. Big shout out to him and his play that game. Really unlocked the team fights for them. As we will be getting into game 2, we will be swapping over the sides, it looks like. Yep, it looks like blue side will be fix your client. Blue side will be team push. And, oh, actually maybe they're not switching sides. We'll see. Don't want to jump the gun. Let me update those scores for everyone just so we know exactly what's happening. Awesome. Yep. So, if you're just joining us or if you're taking a quick break, we have just seen Fix Your Client pull out a very nice victory in the team fights. A lot of great team fighting, a lot of great team fighting pressure. We will be moving into game 2 draft very shortly. I will be jumping in and getting into the spectator spot very shortly, and we'll just see when the team's ready up. Just for the meantime, I'm going to take a quick break and grab another drink. Thank you for joining me for game 1. We'll see you for game 2 in just a minute. Awesome, we are moving into draft for the second game. Sorry, we've missed a little bit of action, but it is the exact same bands as we saw for game 1. It looks like my screen is floating away somehow. So let me just get this World of Tanks advertisement out of the way, as they're not paying us anything. Just updating the graphics, making that transition over. First pick for Team Push will be the Yunara, looking to get a little bit more pressure in that bot lane in the early levels and potentially get some auto attacks down on the enemy side. Anami will answer that one, so potentially Anami Lucian could be seen coming out. There's a nice combo. Nami Jinx. Well, Nami really just pairs with everything perfectly at the moment. Just an absolute top tier support right now. And a Jinx looking to probably just try and outrange the Yunara. The Yunara does have a lot of power, but it is tied to quite a short range auto attack. Typically, I like seeing the Lucian into that Yunara as they can go toe to toe with them in the early and mid game. Victor, so a little bit of wave clear, trying to extend the game a little bit. Always a nice control mage and a nice blind pick for this mid lane. And if you're just joining us, we see at the bottom the champions that have already been used. So if they're trying to use a Syndra to answer this Victor, there will not be that option, as well as the Ahri, which typically is a really nice pick in general. So a couple power picks being used early on in the first drafts, but Akama will be getting paired up with the Yunara, which is an interesting lane as they're trying to sort of do two different things. But as we all know very well, the shields that Karmas can pump out is huge. And especially in that late game scenario, the empowered mantra E's, they go very hard with dealing with damage, especially from a LeBlanc. Let me just quickly get up some more graphics just to let everyone know what kind of scores we're dealing with right now, just to make sure that everything is understood and that we know that Team Fix Your Client has picked up the first game. Sorry for the janky graphics and everything today. It was a little bit of a jump to get everything sorted this morning. Well, not this morning, this afternoon. But now we're sort of seeing everything unfold. Exciting action. So we're going to have plenty of playoff action. Potentially another game on this Sunday, hosted by Dirty Tip Rat. He potentially will be jumping on and casting that one. So make sure you're sticking around, watching all the action. This is only just the start of the bracket. And this is who will be versing Trap Team in the second round. And a Vi being picked up. So they do have a lot of single target damage to deal with the Yunara. You know, chuck the Vi ult down, the assault and battery down onto the Yunara, and then just wipe them off the face of the planet with this LeBlanc pick. And a nice bit of disengage, you know, you have the Vi going in, you can send them out with the Crescent Sweep from the Xin Zhao. So that's always a nice pick to have into the Vi. Also can juke the Vi out pretty well in terms of these early scuttle fights. You know, they're going to go toe to toe, they're going to be able to sort of mitigate each other's damage with the shields, with the heals, and just auto attack each other. And a Cho'Gath blind pick, very interesting. We'll see what they have in reply for that. So a little bit more of a interesting team comp from Team Push this time. I felt like last time they lacked a little bit of clear direction, whereas now they're lacking a little bit more clear direction, as there's a lot of control. A couple people want to go in, a couple people want to stay out, and a Gwen that is a nice answer into the Cho'Gath. I think Cho'Gath still can get a good value off of the Hail of Blades, just doing quick trades against the Gwen, not really overcommitting, as that's where she wants to, you know, stack the Conqueror stacks up, and just start snipping away. So as we see both of these team comps shaping up, not sure what I'm liking. Mic audio bug. Let me know what the mic audio bug is, and I can get that sorted. me see if that's still a little bit scratchy. Sorry to everyone. Going a bit crazy. Hoping that is fixed now. It potentially hasn't. I will just test again really quickly. Sorry guys. No matter what, we won't miss any of the gameplay. It's just depending if I can get this mic fixed. I'm not too sure where the fuzziness is coming from. Sweet. It sounds from my end like it's all fixed, and we can get back into talking about this draft. It looks like the game, we're not into lobby yet, so we will just have a little bit more talking and going over this team comp. So a lot of damage up front from Fix Your Client again. You know, last game they drafted quite a lot of damage, and they're going to try and get, you know, keep the same pace. If they are able to close out the game in such devastating fashion in game one, why not just go for something super aggressive early game? Try and just win these lanes and make Team Push feel the pressure of this playoff spot. You know, just go in hard, win the lane with this LeBlanc, because if this LeBlanc gets ahead, she's going to be an absolute issue. And the Karma won't even get to the point when she can get those massive Mantra E's off. And while there isn't an insane amount of sort of engage and CC like they had last game, they do have some good pieces to pick off those individual targets. To kill the Victor, to kill the Yunara, can use the Assault and Battery, and then follow up with the Needlework and hopefully get some good damage down. And then if they are able to pop someone with this LeBlanc, the Jinx will be just getting excited and trying their best to run all over the show and get as many kills as possible. So it looks like the teams have swapped sides. It will be Team Push jumping in on this blue side, and Team Fix Your Client will be on the red side this game. First pick, Yunara. Pretty good asset to have on the team. I feel like Yunara is definitely one of the ADCs that you can first pick quite easily, as she is super powerful, especially still on these patches. Oh, sorry if you're hearing a little double up there. But it looks like we have had a report that one of the team is having a nervous wee that is turned into a nervous poop. And they, you know, everyone is very concerned in the lobby that it's that he's not squeezing one out. You know, if you are having too much of a nervous squeeze, that potentially can cause a hemorrhoid or something more serious, you know. So make sure you're not spending too much time on the toilet, as hemorrhoids are a very real issue, especially if you're nervous. You know, that's when you get all tense and you get all tight, and you don't want to be going into a potential final game of your OBL Split 1 with hemorrhoids. Now that would be a very bad time. But looks like the players are ready. We will be getting into the second game now, and there will be also a 3-minute delay on these picks and bans. So we will have time to either chat, or have a little break. And we will have to see what happens this game. Can Team push back and even the series out at 1-1, or does Fix Your Client just run over them and pick up the dub? We will find out once we get into game. And I'll also make sure to put a 1-0, 0-1 onto the main team scoreboard as well. Awesome, the players are loading up. I will just leave you for just another moment as I go grab some more water. Stay tuned, game 2 is coming up now. And we are back, 44 seconds on the clock until game 2 between these two Division 2 teams. Team Push versus Fix Your Client. And currently we have a 1-0 on our hands. Team Push had the early advantages in the lanes and then unfortunately weren't able to capitalize on that, as their team fights were just not strong enough to overcome the team fighting comps of Fix Your Client. But we got a couple new pieces on the board. A different draft is going to be on the board, so we will see if they've learned some things from the first game and they're able to really push and try and get this to a 3-game series. Or if Fix Your Client is able to take the bag and run with it, spectator delay is over. We will be getting into game very shortly. Hopefully no bugs this time, as last time we did have a little bit of a health bar bug which caused all of the little black bars. Oh, looks like we've been given yet another spectator delay for some reason. We did just wait out the other spectator delays, but it looks like another 2 minutes and 30 seconds have been dished out. Now, that's not too much of an issue, as we're all hanging out, we're all having a good time. It's almost the end of the week, and we're almost able to have those Friday beersies tomorrow. So let me know in chat, what are you getting up to this weekend? Are you going away? Are you playing League of Legends? I'm sure a lot of the people in chat here will be also competing in OBL. Are you in Division 2? Are you in the playoffs right now? Let me know. If you're a Division 1 player, let me know. Who do you think is the strongest team in the Division 1 series right now? We've got 4 different groups with very different landscapes. We've got some really impressive teams like Coven, Interstellar, Kings Never Surrender. We've got G-Mao. We've got so many different great teams in this Division 1 at the moment. So many great standout players right now, really taking over. And also shout out to all the production team. Honda Civic doing an awesome job at doing plenty of write-ups, keeping us updated on the league and what we need to look out for. All of our casters doing an awesome job. Coming out here and make sure you're supporting all of the great talent that the OBL has to offer. Also, obviously, all of our great admins that get everything sorted out, put everything together. It's just too many to name. JKR, Dirty Tip Rat, Megucat, you know. So many great admins. Keeping everything all sorted, you know, it hasn't been hard this first season making sure everything has been working. But that is enough glazing from now. We got to get back into this Division 2. So, as I was saying before, the winner of this goes on to face Trap Team in that second round of the bracket. So, if one of these teams want to make it to the finals, they not only need to beat their opposing player right now, they need to beat a better team in the next round. And it will be a single elimination. Which means, if you lose, unfortunately, you are just chatting for the rest of the tournament. You're going to be in chat listening to me absolutely ramble to myself about various things. Well, it looks like we have patiently waited out the spectator delay. As we're getting in now, Soltix, I'm sorry for keeping you waiting. We should be seeing the game any second now. I think because the lobby was set up as a tournament draft, we had to wait a little bit longer as all the picks were going through and that kind of stuff. But looks like we are in game right now. Everything is loaded in. We see the Airy sitting there and chilling. So that will be Airy onto Carlos Baron. Had a great game in game 1. Lots of huge impact Seraphine ults. We'll be able to see if the Tidal Wave can have some kind of a similar impact. Got Tiger on the Gentleman Cho'Gath. Awesome skin. Great skin. We do have the Earth Nami. Some nice skins coming out this game. Everyone's looking to flex with some nice cosmetics. And we, interestingly enough, have the exhaust on the Victor. I think that is definitely a curious pick. I think he is quite scared of Mark. Mark was feeling himself in the sort of second part of that game. Gocho! Oh, he doesn't have Hail of Blades. Oh, no. I feel like that's a huge oversight from Tiger in this lane. I feel like Hail of Blades trade is one of the only ways you're really going to be able to sort of trade with that Gwen. As Grasp is just, it's not as great on Cho'Gath in my opinion. Not as great. as you do. Lots of trading going down early. That Q from Victor is such a solid tool in the level 1 trades. As the W is with LeBlanc is quite a strong trading ability, but has nothing on the Victor Q. Yeah, I feel like Victor, you gotta at least go for the ghost or the teleport. I'd say the teleport there is a chance that this LeBlanc will be able to force you out of lane, or potentially you want to be able to get a couple cheeky backs. Getting that refillable Dark Seal is such an asset in the mid lane. You get to sort of level 3 or so, you go for some aggressive trades, and the LeBlanc 90% of the time is going to be taking the Ignite, especially in Division 2. I feel like if you're looking at Division 1, that's where you start seeing the teleport LeBlancs come out, potentially. But the Ignite just gives you so much lane pressure. You can definitely achieve a lot of kills. Oh, that's a brutal one. Just witnessed Tiger. He might be feeling the pressure here a little bit. Was sort of winning that first game quite handedly with the Scion first pick. Getting off a couple not solo kills, but with the help of Mordhau, was able to get a couple kills early. But it really didn't translate to too much in the late game. This Gwen is already getting the crystalline procs down on this tower. And we're going to be getting pretty much the same start. Nothing too crazy. Mark missing the chains, hitting the minion. So the trade's going the way of this Victor pretty handedly. And I think even without the exhaust, the early trades will be going quite well for the Victor. So, you know, why not invest in that teleport? Really keep the tempo vibes going. But this, again, looks like Yeti is going to be getting off the slightly faster clear. Potentially going to get a double scuttle. Nah, looks like the Zinzao is taking the B. And a Kindle Gem. A Kindle Gem, first item on the Zinzao. I'm racking my brain, trying to think about what could possibly be a good item for the Kindle Gem. Surely it's not a Black Cleaver first. Where's the cleaving that needs to be done on the side of Fix Your Client? Very curious, very curious. I feel like Sundered Sky is always the option on the Zinzao, as it just gives him so much value in these team fights. But the Kindle Gem, that Kindle Gem has really got me thinking. Oh no. Oh, I'm feeling for Tiger right now. The pressure is mounting on him. Every time the auto direct camera goes up to him, he's missing a creep. So that's unfortunate. He's about 22 CS down. Just trying to get a little bit of a shove off, but actually might get frozen on him, which is not what you want as this Cho'Gath. Yeah, the wave is being caught by Apex Predator, and he probably will look to start a freeze. TP's still up for this Cho, so he will be able to get a little bit of a TP back going. Reset, maybe grab who knows. If he wants to get a bit more AP, he definitely could. They could go for the Dark Seal. Oh, he's going tank. Unfortunate. I think Tiger needs to try and potentially go for some damage here and just pop people. Because he's going to get kited out pretty hard by most of these players. Not a lot of short range threats that he can sort of go toe to toe with. Whereas if he goes Proto Belt early, he actually has a lot of kill threat onto this Nami and this Jinx. You know, hit one Q, Proto Belt in, and pop. And we're potentially a Dusk and Dawn's in. Now I will be very impressed. The flash Q coming out. Oh, the really nice gravity field. Gets a double stun and a flash on the spot from Mark. Gets the ignite off. Will he trade one back? He does. What have I witnessed? The flash for damage from Mark. Just absolutely styling on that play. A bit of a 6-pick action coming into this Division 2. And he's weaponizing the 1-inch flash. What an epic play by Mark. But a really good turn by Sniffer. He didn't even use the exhaust in that play. Blew 2 flashes, and Mordhau will be able to pick up this early dragon as well, just off of that slight misplay. The gravity field doing a lot of work in that counter gank. Such a good tool for closing off a bit of space. And the Vi not having the flash, coming up to these Krug fights, coming up to these other fights. Ooh, Tiger's getting needled down, and Apex Predator, he's punishing him for last game, you know. He wasn't very impressed how that last game turned out. And it looks like Sniffer has got his work cut out for him this game, as all of his other lanes not doing too well. Spooky, though, not doing too bad in the spot lane on this Yunara. He's farming up quite nicely, surmounting 4 kills. Got a plate, but the main lead is going to be up in this top lane. This Gwen. Oh, and it looks like another Q just goes slightly short, and they are going to try and get Sniffer down. This one will be a lot easier. Oh, he's going to get out by the skin of his teeth. Oh, a lot invested again to kill Sniffer, but he gets out just again. And he's held on to this exhaust again. I felt like if he used exhaust onto either the LeBlanc or the Vi as soon as that gank came through, he could have turned it. And the Jinxar just going wide on that mid lane. Yeah, Cleaver first. And no boots. It's very interesting builds. Very interesting builds. I'm not too sure what I think of the Black Cleaver first. There are no tanky targets. And you don't really, even the other auto attackers, this Gwen, this Vi, you don't really want to be taking 2 extended fights with that. As Spooky Man is going in, the tether will hit. A nice W from Spooky Man, a nice trade. Does blow the flash from both Bosch and Carlos Baron. So you got to really try and push the lead with this Yunara early, as in the team fights probably won't get as much free space to hit. You know, you got to worry about this LeBlanc. You got to worry about this Vi, this Gwen, because in reality, for the side of Fix Your Client, there's only 2 champions that they really need to go for, and that's the Victor and that's the Yunara. You can kind of let the Cho do his thing. You can kind of let the Black Cleavers and Zhao do his thing. Oh, Tidal Wave coming out. Juke to the side by Spooky. Nice flash. Dodges out the Vi Q. Not too many successful Vi ganks coming out so far. I am also waiting for the Darksteel pickup. I would pray that the Zen is not going for Black Cleaver, but I think they are. Which is very sad. 300 gold lead on the board for Fix Your Client. Now, rather than Team Push having the big lead early game, it looks like the early game is being built up for Apex Predator and his band of merry men. Mark G. Sung feeling himself a little bit more, especially after that first game. The early game was quite rough. It looks like it will be a Blackfire Torch start for this Victor, looking to get a little bit more power early. Oh, I'm sorry, Tiger. The auto camera is doing you dirty. A lot of misplays coming out. Why didn't Mordhau just try and smite one of those? He had to smite up. He could have easily just taken one. Interesting. And teams are feeling the pressure, you know. Playoff time is here, and everything is down to the crunch, you know. 1 grub over to the side of Push, 2 over to the side of Fix Your Client, but that early dragon was picked up early from Zinzao. And he's gone back and he's got the pickaxe, so yeah, it's a Black Cleaver first for the Zin. He could prove me wrong, you know. Builds don't matter as much in this Division 2, I'd say. I think it more comes down to the setups, and if there is any setup to a fight, and then also, you know, target selection and that kind of things, rather than, you know, the little micro differences in the play, you know, wave management, builds, CS, perfect CS, you know, these little things don't matter as much as sort of raw mechanics in team fights and team coordination does. Because from a lot of the Division 2 games I've casted this split, it does really come down to just team fighting and who's winning these team fights. It doesn't matter if there's a wave pushing on the other side of the map. It doesn't matter if the waves are set up. A flash Q from Yeti is going to pick up the kill on the Karma pretty easily. Spooky Man is going to try and turn some damage, running towards his Victor. The Chaos Storm is down. Carlos Baron is going low. The Xin Zhao is in the mix, killing Yeti. And a really nice turn from Push. They're not out of it just yet. And turning onto an easy dragon. Looks like Mark G-Suck is going to get the kill onto Sniffer. A really nice play. Using the abilities well. Using his mimicked abilities well. But the dragon's still going over to the side of Push, regardless of Sniffer going down in the end of that last play. And it will be Sork Boots onto the side of the Victor. Very curious, you know. I would opt for the Boots of Lucidity, having that flash and that exhaust on a lower cooldown, plus a little bit more wave clear, sort of like your E rather, being off cooldown, gives you a little bit more wave clear. Would probably be more beneficial, but, you know, more damage. I guess he is one of the only damage sources. So, most likely we'll be going for the Leandre second, although I reckon just YOLO it. Shadow Flame second, Victor. You're versing nothing but squishies, just send it. I mean, you could also go for a Seekers, maybe pick up an early Seekers, just in case the Vi starts to land some ults on you. I do think the Yunara is going to be tanking a lot of these Vi ults, so take that information as you will. Cho'Gath looking to pick up his Hollow Radiance first, get a little bit more push power back onto the Gwen. No boots from him. Is it interestingly, like, there's a lot of unfinished boots and things like that. You know, you don't need to pick up your upgraded boots too much anymore, but that Xin only just on this last B picked up his boots, and he does have the Black Cleaver. Let's have a little look and see what armor he's cutting through potentially. I guess the Phage passive is nice into these mobile champions, you know, getting a little bit more movement speed. But then why didn't he just go for the Stride Breaker? You know, I feel like the Stride Breaker is a better Phage option out of the lot. But look at me, you know, I'm not OPGG. I'm not going to tell you what to build. Go crazy. Do whatever makes you comfortable. Just make sure you're getting some good ganks off. Now Mark Ji-sung is roaming quite a bit. Is making sure that his presence is felt along the map. You know, in that first game he was farming up quite a lot on the Ahri, and then was able to unleash on the map. He will be using the W to go in, and the Vi doing a lot of damage. Triforce finished. He's going to go down. Ooh. And the mission is complete, but Yeti picking out that kill. Yeti is absolutely abusing this Victor in the mid lane. Some really nice ganks coming out. A lot of flashes blown. But Sniffer is getting baited by the roams of Mark Ji-sung. Mark Ji-sung is like roaming quite a lot. And is allowing Sniffer to just freely push out this wave. And that's almost baiting him. Tiger's going to try and get a kill here. He's got the flash, he's got the munch, and he has got a full belly. The Gwen is going down, and what I would call a fairly even, like a fairly free lane for the Gwen. As 50 CS is up, 50 CS up, so quite an overstep, quite a greedy overstep for the Gwen. And that's what kind of what the Cho'Gath wanted. He's going to get heaps of plates off of this, well, 3 plates, and then that's going to put him pretty much back on even gold, you'd hope. He's not going to stay for the last plate. I think he's scared that the Vi is going to be roaming top. He's got that Hollow Radiance, which is giving him a lot of wave clear. And this Vi is top. Doesn't have the Assault and Battery. Cease and desist. I think this Cho is going to go down here. A nice dodge from the Rupture. Looks like Apex Predator will come in here and start snipping. Tiger is just going to get out, but he can bait for the Xin Zhao to come in. A nice Chaos Storm going onto Mark Ji-sung in the mid lane. Sniffer's finding the kill. And he's going to get out and sneak around the tower. Oh, Mark is going to be very sad. And the Jigsaw is gone. But Carlos Baron getting caught again has been quite a target. And these times he's warding. He's getting caught out quite a lot. And Team Push is coming back with a vengeance this game. Really finding some good picks. Really finding some good 1v1s. Sniffer has been quite the asset this game with finding these kills. And now, Mordhau is buying the steel caps. Good purchase. Steel caps also on the Cho'Gao. As a lot of the damage threat to these tankier members is coming from this Vi W, is coming from these Gwen auto attacks. So being able to reduce that damage just a little bit helps out the whole passage of play. And if you are just joining us now, you missed an epic game 1 where the team fight pressure and execution from Fix Your Client pulled them ahead after a weak early game. But this one is looking a lot closer. So we'll see if the team fighting ability. Oh, Mark is going over, going for an aggressive trade. Found all 3 of them. The needlework is getting used onto Tiger, but it doesn't do much damage. He has a lot of HP right now. As Mordhau and crew are looking to pick up soul points 17 minutes into the game. They're just going to give it. That is not advisable, as they're going to be pressured to team fight pretty much every single dragon after this. Whereas I think that's exactly what this Victor wants. Exactly what this Xin Zhao and Yunara want, is they want team fighting. Whereas this sort of pick style comp from Fix Your Client is going to be trying to make different plays across the map, and they're just trying to pick up some tower gold. The Herald does get killed by Tiger. He's got plenty of wave clear with this Hollow Radiance. The dive might be coming in. Mark G Sung is going to be going in as well. Almost turned it around, and he's going to pick up one onto Apex Predator. That's a really nice turn from the big man in the top lane. Yeti is also going to go down, but then on the bot side, there's trades going down. Team Push is finding some back onto Carlos. Oh, the Xin Zhao is going in and picks up another kill as well. Team Push all over the map. 4 kills down. 1 kill up. Interesting early game we've got here. A little bit more action. I felt like pre-20 it was a 0-7 situation, and then once these dragons started going down, there was lots of craziness going on the board. But Team Push is coming back. They haven't lost their mental too hard. I was spectating Tiger in that early game, and he was whiffing a little bit of CS, but he was able to get that one really good flash munch off in the laning phase, and now he's feeling himself. He's feeling good, and he's potentially going to be looking at this last dragon, which is coming up in 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Not too much of a gold lead, just a 3k gold lead onto the side of Push, but that's expected with all these dragons, with all these towers. All 3 outer towers have been taken to the side of Team Push, so quite a successful early game. And if you look at the side of Fix Your Client, they don't have the tools that they had last game to just win team fights. You know, a lot of it's quite conditional, you know. Mark has to hit his combos perfectly onto one of these targets, either the Victor or the Yunara, to get good damage off. And the Vi, you know, has to get a good ult off, but will be overcommitting and going straight into the Xin Zhao and Victor. So yeah, we'll see if they can pull off the finesse in the fights, but the harder the Xin Zhao gets to kill, the more of an issue that Fix Your Client will have moving into this late game. Yes, Soltex, I do think we might be heading to game 3, but the caster curse is always available. I remember I was casting... Oh, Tiger has left the game. Are we going to be seeing a pause? Looks like he's coming back into the game. I will use this slight pause to grab a quick drink of water. Reminder to stay hydrated. Keep having your water. It's going to be a big weekend for everyone, so make sure you start off the right way on a Thursday night, drinking some water. Now we see this Yunara is in a really good position. 2 items, a little bit on the way of the third, whereas this Jinx has just finished the first. Got the pickaxe, I'm assuming for an Infinity Edge. So yeah, a little bit behind, about 20 CS down, 20 or so CS down. This LeBlanc getting a little bit outscaled right now, 50 CS down in this mid lane, whereas we see some big CS leads in the jungle as well. Despite the fact that he went for a Black Cleaver first item, the Xin Zhao is clearing quite efficiently. Yeah, the only real lead that Fix Your Client has is this Gwen, so potentially a tool they could use to take over the game. As we do sit in the pause for a little bit longer, we will be waiting to jump back into the action. Now Carlos has been getting caught out quite a lot, warding, even in game 1, where he had an absolutely stellar performance, probably my MVP, apart from Bosch, who was doing a lot of damage on that MF. But the MF ult needs to be set up with something quite good. Like a Jarvan ult obviously is one of the best, but the Seraphine ult was an absolute bomb. You know, it was a drone strike on the side of push. No, I did not Soltex. I was saying, yes, it might look like we are going to a game 3. But I want to give you a shout out. You are a very dedicated chatter right now. So, shout out to you. Keeping me company. It's not easy doing these solo casts, as you don't have too many ideas to bounce off of another person. And you kind of end up rambling. But we're still sitting in this pause. We're looking at the stats right now. We're breaking down the numbers. We're seeing what can Fix Your Client do to win this game. And there's not many there's not many assets that can be used. And apparently someone's dad has been messing with the ice machine and has short-circuited a fuse at the house. Interesting. That is one of the more interesting issues that people can have at their home. The weather is cooling down a bit though. I've noticed if you're in New Zealand that the mornings are colder. Bed is a lot more warm and a lot more comfortable. Now hopefully the fuse can get fixed at some point, and Tiger's dad hasn't blown the entire suburbs power grid, because that might be a bit harder to sort out for Tiger. You know, he has been trying to problem solve this top lane, and now an electricity issue could be on the cards. But we're back in the game. The rubber boots have been put on. The fuse box has been reset. And Sniffer is sniffing some CS out in this top lane. Did go for the Shadow Flame second. Going to be pumping out a lot of damage. Oh. And the infamous pause bug has reared its ugly head. We should be hopefully getting out of this mini freeze any second now. I'm hoping. Yep, there we are. But will any of these teams be able to challenge Trap Team in the second round? You know, Trap Team is a formidable opponent. So, being able to learn a lot from this series if you are the victor, if you are the winner, if the victor wins, maybe the victor will be the victor, potentially. Yeah, what can we learn from this? And also, what can Trap Team learn from this? There's lots of opportunities available for both these teams. They are very distinctive in the way that they're trying to play the game out. I feel like Fix Your Client do incredibly well when they have these team fight comps. They find really good opportunities to pull the trigger. As Yeti is getting caught out, the Zinzao is going in. The Troubled Bubble is going to get him out of there as the Q over the wall. Sneaky Vi is able to sneak out of there. But the Dragon is almost up. And there's a lot of pressure being put on the map from Team Push. I just don't see any way that Fix Your Client can really get in here, can really do much. As Mark is trying to get a good trade down onto the Karma, and Carlos is repeating the mistakes that he always makes, which is getting caught out, trying to ward. Now the health bars aren't looking as healthy before this Dragon. This Gwen is going to have to come in and get naughty. It will be an Earth Drake, which is definitely what the side of Team Push wants. Oh, Mark getting absolutely annihilated. That Victor damage is just crazy right now. The Shadow Flame, such a good purchase. As Tiger comes in and he's potentially going to get himself a tasty little munch here. As things are going from bad to worse for Fix Your Client. And things are looking like they're going to be heading towards a game 3. As the wallet diff is getting a little bit larger. Still only 4k, so they're able to hold on to a little bit of gold. But this LeBlanc picking up her Storm Surge. Looks like Sprocky is trying to find a pick onto this. Flash over right into the waiting arms of the Xin Zhao. Crescent Sweep is used and Mordhau picks up the kill. Has got the Sundered Sky, second item. And he is going to be on his way either to a GA or potentially, what is that item? What is that item? What is that item? You know, you always can see the image in your head of the item. You can see the image in your head of the item, but sometimes the name just escapes you, especially if you're deep into game 2 right now. But it doesn't really matter what the Xin Zhao's building. As I said early game, he grabbed the Black Cleaver first, and he's been able to run with it, despite what I said about his building. It's not really doing too much, but it almost feels like Sniffer is listening to what I'm telling him to build, because he has got every single item I've asked him to get, apart from the Boots of Lucidity, I will add. But yeah, he's doing so much damage. As you saw, Mark got absolutely eliminated in that last fight. He's got no teleport, so he's just trying to pick up some early towers. I think trying to find some picks in rotation. Oh, as Bosch is going to have to flash with that wall. Nice tidal wave just to disengage. But yeah, that Earth Drake is making them so tanky. So tanky. As this Vi's looking to just counter jungle. Push might as well just start the Baron here, rather. Just, they've got so much power right now. And there's not really anything that can disrupt it apart from a miracle steal from Yeti. We know he's capable of it. We saw a really great steal from an early Baron from Push last game. So that might be why they're a little bit scared to try and make such a play. But yeah, play it out, play it slow, guarantee the victory. You know, they're only going to get stronger. This Victor's only going to get more of a threat. And this Yunara is in a good spot. Almost got that Infinity Edge. Still almost a whole item up on the Jinx. But the Jinx can get to that late game point. But it's going to be very hard. Oh, do they have a pick onto Tiger here? He's a very tanky boy. Mark might even just die here. Completely. Oh, so close. Don't eat the clone. But Yeti won't even be able to kill him either. Maybe not. Those concussive blows do stack up. As Tiger is getting caught out by the whole team now. And big rocket is flown into the Baron. They will just take the Baron. Team Push is getting a very big lead. They all like their trade quite a lot. They won't be able to capitalize as much. They won't be able to capitalize as much with this Cho'Gath being down on the Baron pushes. But, as I was saying, there's not much to it. You know, this LeBlanc has good damage, but it's very conditional. How is she going to get on the Yunara though? This Karma is at the point where the shields are big enough for not like anyone who's getting targeted to get killed. They've got the Earth Drake, so everyone's got a little bit of a Malphite shield going on. Mountain Soul, rather. Earth Drake. Earth Drake. I guess I'm thinking too much like Avatar elements, you know? But it is the Mountain Soul, as it is, I'm guessing, thematically quite aligned with Malphite, as he is a mountain. As he's a rock. He's a rocky mountain. That would be a good pick for Fix Your Client to try and grab in the third game. Is that Malphite, you know? Those big engages have been working really well for them, so, you know, invest in the Malphite. Maybe an Orianna could be quite cool as well. Just going for a big old team fight comp. Even an Annie, you know, Mark, if he's got that in the bag. Malphite Annie, it's a very brutal combo. We did see in the America's LCS version, which is the South America versus North America showdown this morning. It was a very interesting team comp with the Malphite Annie mid lane duo, and then they had I think it was the Alistar or the Rakan Yasuo bot lane. So there was a lot of knockups. Quick sip of water. The throat is getting a little bit sore as I am just absolutely yapping at this point. Apex hasn't been able to affect the game that much this game. His Ornn last game was very good. A lot of good Ornn horns. And while there is only a 5 kill discrepancy right now, the gold lead's still sitting at around 4k, so not too much happening. And as a tale as old as time, Carlos is getting caught out. Warding, unfortunately, hasn't been a strong point for him in this series so far. Hopefully the team can recognize that in between games if we do head to a third. And the Elder Soul, it's a very early Elder Soul, 30 minutes in, they're going to be getting it on spawn. Unless the Vi can contest this, but it looks like they're kind of passively almost surrendering, you know? They're not making too many good faith plays on the map right now, where they're sort of trying to set up, use vision, trying to sweep out. I think this LeBlanc should be getting a sweeper at this point if they're trying to utilize a bit of vision to try and make some plays, but yeah. I'm surprised the gold lead isn't more, you know? I think this Gwen is just hyper farming up in this top lane, looking to put some side pressure down, which is interesting because that was Tiger's job last game, was abusing the side lane, whereas Mark is trying to go in and kind of just tickles them, as well as this Jinx is just tickling this Cho'Gath, as Sniffer is looking to chase down Predator. Flash needlework is used, so yeah, not too much going down, As Game 3 is looming on the horizon, what do we think that Fix Your Client can even do at this point, you know? They don't have the tools to team fight like they did last game. We've got Mark clearing the jungle as he doesn't really want to jump into any wave and get one hit by the Victor. We'll have the Shadow Flame now, so hopefully a little bit more damage. But can Spooky Man even die in this game? I don't think there's anything that can really kill him. Apex Predator won't have enough burst to get through these Karma shields. There's no Serpent's Fang. And the Vi has opted for a more of the Melmortius, which is very curious, as the GA would be a lot more of a... Oh, a Tidal Wave coming out just into the Xin Zhao. He's not going to mind that one bit. The Yunara is chunking. Yeah, I think the Vi needed to grab a GA at this point. And Death Dance was the item I was thinking about before. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, GA would have been perfect for the Vi, as it means you can just go in and send it onto this Yunara and try and get the pick off. But because they have gone for the Maw, they're probably just going to get bursted from the Yunara and the Xin Zhao damage. You know, the Xin Zhao definitely has enough damage to kill anyone it really wants to. And I think Push, if they want to, can just win. Pretty much right here. They can take this tower, they can send 5 into one lane and just push down the end. Oh, there we go. Sniffer is sniffing out another big kill. And it's 0-5 on Carlos Baron as he's looking for more. Bosch almost goes down. Sniffer is feeling himself right now. Jumping in, is role-playing as LeBlanc against the LeBlanc. But yeah, great damage. He's definitely the player to watch in this series right now. As you know, unfortunately, for the first game, he did get slapped around a little bit come team fights on the Syndra. He still looked good on it. I thought he looked good. That was one of the bright spots for Push in that first game, was the Syndra play. And it's just going to be another Baron. So this is the second Baron on the board. 4 Drakes, 8 towers, just 1 grub. But yeah, the gold lead is growing rapidly. 5k on the board. And it's just going to go higher. Can Yeti pull off another miracle steal? They're very scared of it. They know it's possible. The Baron will stay leashed. Apex Predator is trying to come around on the side, but Sniffer just pops him. Oh, Sniffer might go down here. He does do a beautiful Zhonya's to dodge that. Tiger's getting in the front line. They're all very low. Yeti cannot contest this Baron anymore. As he goes back in, Mordhau taking him down. And this Yunara is going to start slapping away. There's nothing that will stop her. And there was nothing that will stop Team Push from taking this to a 3rd game. Mark desperately trying to stop the wave mid lane, but doesn't realize that all 5 are in the top lane. And the Baron is not needed. Yeti be damned. You cannot steal a Baron that is not at smite range. And this will just be all she wrote for Fix Your Client in the second game. A very nice bounce back from Team Push. Is taking down this tower. Mark getting exhausted in the mid lane. But they're just whacking away. They're hitting the Nexus. The victory screen is very near. Mark is going in for a last little bit of KDA boosting. But those are the GGs. And that is game 3 being called. Now we are 1-1 in our series. Big time. Big time comebacks from the side. I'll Fix Your Client. It's going to take a quick break as we head into this 3rd game. We are 1-1 in the series.
An adventurous spirit needs strong immunity. Optimal Gold Plus Toddler.
Time like this before.
Game 3 draft. Playoffs on the line. we will see how this last game unfolds. Two very different stories. Game 1, massive team fighting from Fix Your Client. Where Game 2, just an insurmountable early gold lead pushed them all the way to the Nexus. So we will see 1-1. Silver Scrapes have been played. Draft is unfolding. Same bands each game. Looks pretty consistent. I think in the chat they were begging to see the Thresh not banned. I think Carlos wanted that one to be able to show off his skills and to take them to the next round of the playoffs, but that one is going to be taken away. Okay, very interesting. There is still quite a decent amount of ADCs left over, as only really the Yunara, the Xayah, the MF, and the Jinx have been used. There's still plenty on the board. The Philios, the Ashe, lots of different picks still to be unleashed, but the Corki is finding his way onto the Rift. I wouldn't say he's an S tier pick right now, but he can definitely comfortably go into a lot of different things, and the Kench is on bench, ladies and gentlemen. Very exciting to see this big frog, catfish, green man making his way to the Rift. Definitely one of the fan favorites. A really great champion, quite versatile. Might be paired up with a very immobile ADC. Might be a Varus paired up with this Tahm Kench, as it most likely will be a support Tahm. You can also see him in the top lane, you know, grabbing that early Heartsteel. Grabbing the Dusk and Dawn can be a bit of an issue, as Fix Your Client, Nunu, they want the Wallum. They want the Nunu and William to be unleashed on the Rift. Fast clearing, a lot of good ganking. I felt like this game has been decided around the mid lane, so being able to put a lot of pressure on that mid lane is Nunu's game. Won't be locked in though. It's just a scare tactic. As a tale as old as time is the Corki Leona combo. It's a very classic combo. The Cassante will be going into the hands of this top lane. Strong pick. Can get stuff done. So they will get it done. And the Sivir to go with the Kench. Good combo. I think, just munch it up when the Solar Flare comes down. You can Spell Shield either the Leona E, Q, or Ult. And then the rest of the CC can just be negated. Mitigated? Negated. One of the two. They both work here. By the time Kench ult. Mel Ban, interesting pick. Braum Ban, another interesting pick. As I think they expect this Tahm Kench might be a top laner. You never know. Maybe it is a Tahm Kench top. I don't know too much about these two guys' champion pools. But yeah, it's all coming together. Malzahar is another ban. And Milio as well. Also a very good pick into the Leona. But I think it will be the Kench support. As it was picked so early, I guess it is technically a flex, and there's not too many lanes that can go crazy into the Tahm Kench in the top lane. Most of them are taken away. The Ambessa is actually very nice into the Tahm Kench top. But that is also picked up. I expect that one to be landing in the jungle potentially, as Ambessa is a very strong jungle pick. Oh! It is a top lane Kench, so they've just revealed that in the draft. So it will be the Cassante into the Tahm Kench, and the Orianna getting picked up on the side of Fix Your Client. I did say that would be a nice addition to their team fighting style, and it looks like they're leaning back on that. They've got a lot more of a balanced team comp coming this one. They're not getting too greedy with the Vi, with the LeBlanc, with all these damage dealers. So they've revealed the Orianna. We'll have to see what Sniffer has got in store as a counter, because they gave up they've given him the counter pick last, so we'll see if there's a specific. Oh, I don't know if I like the Lissandra into the Orianna. They will grab it. An interesting team comp. There's not too much damage on the side of Team Push. I am, as this draft is finishing up, liking Fix Your Client a little bit more. I think the Corki is going to be able to pump out a good amount of true damage onto those tankier targets, the Tahm and the Nautilus. but plenty of CC on both sides. You know, we've got the Cataclysm, we've got the Shockwave, we've got the All Out, we've got the Solar Flare and Leona's plethora of CC tools. Up against the Nautilus, obviously jam-packed with CC, we got the Public Execution on the Mbessa, which is a great pick target. Can find someone in the backline with ease. And the Lysandra, chuck someone in a tomb and keep them there, you know. I feel like Orianna will get the edge in this lane unless Sniffer has got a couple interesting tricks. Can hit those Qs through the minions and get some good pressure off in the lane. But yeah, as we go into this game 3, let me know in chat. Who you feeling? What's sticking out to you this game in terms of picks, in terms of who's going to be unleashing the beast? You know, what are the players we need to watch out for? I feel like as we're looking at this mid lane again, these two picks can alter the course of the game. A big Shockwave, a big Lysandra catch, you know, even jumping in and getting a big W off and then ulting yourself, that is a lot of damage. We'll be getting the Malignants first on this Lysandra, so looking to just be on the map, getting lots of picks. I feel like both Mark and Sniffer have been trying to do that. It's been trying to make their presence known across the map. Sniffer residing a little bit more in the mid lane while Mark's tried to roam. But yeah, it is game 3. We've got all of our picks locked in, and we'll be looking to hop into lobby very shortly. I think once this hits late game, I would enjoy the push team comp a little bit more. I feel like late game Tahm Kench is just such a menace to deal with. And same with the Sivir, you know, instant wave clear, a lot of wave clear coming out from the Sivir. They've obviously got the Orianna and the Corki, who do possess quite a lot of wave clear as well. The Cassante Jarvan, going to be quite a nice combo coming out. The Cassante is obviously very hard to kill. You can use that all out to take either the Tahm Kench or the Mbessa away from the fight. But in terms of jungle clearing, I feel like Mbessa and Jarvan both pretty solid clearers when it comes to the first clear. Mbessa was an absolute unit at clearing at one point, but has been nerfed down to compensate. Yeah, not too... from what I can see, not too many advantages. I feel like the Cassante can handle the lane against Tahm pretty easily. Tahm will be sort of just tugging and trying to get that passive proc off, getting some stuns, but not the most potent top laner right now. Has gone through many phases of nerfs to make sure that he's not as obnoxious, because it is quite an obnoxious champion to have on the roof to that Tahm Kench. But we will see. We will see. I do feel like the FYC bot lane is going to have a lot of power in this early game. As Nort, you know, is like, he's deceptively bad early game in my opinion, unless you can really get some crazy hooks off. He's a very cumbersome champion, doesn't do too much damage, and isn't that durable. Isn't as durable as the Leona is going to be with this W setup. As we are in the draft right now, we're going to wait for this game to start up. I might just have a quick break yet again. Sorry to leave you guys so often, but it is getting quite late. And I'm just trying to rest my voice because I want to get this last game as hype as possible. I will catch you guys in 3 minutes. 10 seconds left on the spectator delay, and then we are into game 3 of the first round of Division 2 playoffs. One team will advance to face Trap Team, and one team will be going home. Who's it going to be? Put your votes in the chat now. Show your support and get behind the two teams who will be performing on this playoff game. It is 1-1. We've heard the silver scrapes. We've seen the drafts. We're transitioning to the end game. Let me know, guys. How are we feeling about this turnout? Once again, let me go over the players. We got Tiger in the top lane. He's unbenched the Kench. Mordhau is on the Ambessa. Sniffer picking up the Lysandra in the mid lane. And then a Nort Sivir duo will be making its way into the bot lane. On the other side, Fix Your Client. Cassante top lane for Apex Predator. Yeti is in the jungle. Mark is on the Oriana. And then a classic combo, Corky Leona, making its way into the ball lane to battle against this Sivir Nort combo. As we've seen most games, lanes have been pretty chill up until around the 10-minute mark, where things start popping off, where the bot lanes start pressuring. But the Sivir's looking to just get the early edge on this bot lane, trying to push out early. I'm not too sure how the Cassante Tarm lane fares. I feel like the Cassante might be able to get the edge on that, just has a little bit more tools to deal damage, but you never know. The Tarm has pretty good sustain when it comes to hitting those Qs, blocking a lot of damage with his E as well, being able to heal up with the grey health also. Oh, I can do that. I can do that. There we go. Unfortunately, I have missed a little bit of an early trade. Spooky Man didn't pop any sums or anything. Typically, you'll see in higher elo, the barrier is just going to get popped super early so they don't get forced out of lane, so they feel a little less pressure in the lane. Sorry, you might have just missed a little bit due to the transition, but I was just finishing the graphics just a little bit so we could see the timer on that. But yeah. Fix Your Client, the lanes are in a good position. Most of them are doing quite well. This Corky and Sivir, even on CS, the Cull. First item for the Sivir. Can't really do too much with that. I feel like that is very easy to be abused. As a quick B from Bosch, getting the tier. That was a sneaky little B timing. Level 2. Hasn't really lost too much CS from that. The wave is going to be sitting right there, ready for him to take. But getting that tier early, it's going to go well. Mordhau, unfortunately, losing out on the bottom scuttle. We'll just take the B, probably grab a pair of long swords, and we'll head top lane for that top scuttle. Meanwhile, Yeti just going to take the B, also filling up their inventory with a couple swords. They'll take that one to the bank any day, any night. Very chill lanes. The Cassante's poking out the Tarm, but unfortunately the Tarm is almost out of mana. And so is the Cassante, so they're going to be auto-attacking each other. Both these champs not exactly known for being auto-attackers. It looks like Mordhau is poking his head up there to see if he can try and get the top crab as well, but they will just trade the crabs 1 for 1. No, it looks like the Jarvan actually did get there in time. My mistake. And so it looks like the pings come down from Yeti, perfectly tracking Mordhau on those top camps. So yeah, the Jarvan will be able to get that level 6 quite a lot faster than the Ambessa. Nice E in from the Leona. Exhaust down onto Spooky, man. Spooky is trying to tank up the damage, but might go down here. He will pop. A Q goes back in. That's not advised. One more auto attack. He's not going to flash to try and finish him off. Nice restraint from Bosch, as that could have been very slightly off in terms of the damage. But yeah, good trading from this Leona. Definitely want to just try and E in as much as possible, put as much pressure onto the Sivir early game as they can. Keep her off at the CS. The longer it takes for her to finish that cull, for her to not be able to get the Essence Reaver and Flickerblade combo is ideal, as that's when she's just going to start just absolutely lawnmowering through waves, getting as much CS as she wants. If you're just joining us now, it is 1-1 in this first best of 3 series for the Division 2 playoffs. Both games have gone very differently. The drafts have been very different every single game, committing differently each game. Mark and Sniffer has been quite the 1v1 situation in this mid lane. They've both been trading kills, both been playing quite different picks, control mages to boot, a little bit of assassin gameplay in there as well. But it's been quite an exhilarating matchup. Looks like the Cassandra is just shoving in, is building quite a good CS lead up against this Tahm Kench. Tahm Kench, that's probably one of his biggest weaknesses. He has absolutely no wave clear, so he can't really do anything. Sniffer going in for a little bit of a trade, does proc the electrocute, pretty quick snap. Phase rush on Mark will get him out of some extra auto attack damage, but yeah, Orianna just nerfed this last patch, so a little bit of a slower cooldown on the Q. We'll see if Carlos and Yeti can get this first dragon. Looks like they will just take a reset. Just let that one go. Nice tonguing. Oh, a nice... He's going to be able to get him under the tower. Might not do too much damage, as Apex Predator is going to take a second tower shot and a third tower shot. Tiger, why are you flashing out, mate? Go for the kill. Oh, Mordhau flashes and he's going to finish off that there. Oh, Tiger needs to have a little bit more confidence in himself. One auto attack there would have got the kill. I think he was scared of the all-out double W combo. But that is going to be the resources onto the top lane. So Yeti is going to look to take this bot lane dragon. And Mark does have the inside track over this Lysandra, so it will just be a trade. Top lane first blood for the mountain dragon. But yeah, nice from Tiger. He's been playing very well this series. Apex also been playing very well. A lot of interesting picks coming out, so I'm definitely be impressed with all of these laners, you know. It's nice watching Division 2 just go at it, because they've got a little bit less on their minds, you know, whereas the Division 1 players are thinking, oh, is my wave state good? Is my lane shoving? Like, do I have enough damage to get this solo kill? Does he have enough damage to shove me out of lane if I go for a solo kill? Where the Division 2 players are just going, me kill now. Me gank now. Dragon now. You know, there's not these extra layers. All this silly thinking games that these Division 1 players have to deal with mentally, you know? I'm definitely not calling them smooth brain players. I'm just saying they play with their hearts, which is I admire, you know? They play with heart and they play with soul. You know, winning Division 2 games is more about vibes. It is more about who's vibing out the best. As the Soul Thread will be popped, the public execution misses. As on the top side, Yeti does pick up. The flash is still on the Leona. Nice hook to follow up, but there's nothing to it. Carlos might be able to turn this. but that is both the Scuttles and the first Dragon going on to fix your client, which is a good pickup. Mordhau showing on the bot side is pretty much a free ticket to that second early objective. The Jarvan hasn't been ganking much as... Oh, the nice E onto that. Spocky will be going down here. Now flashes out. The big rocket comes in. One more auto is blocked by Spooky Man. And the barrier is still online. A nice flash Q by Carlos is going to get Bosch out of there. The Q to follow up. One auto back. Oh my god. It's all just down to a game of inches as Carlos goes in. Oh no, Bosch, you should have stayed there and gone for the kill, as that probably would have ended up being a double kill. Spooky Man and Spooky going in for a nice 2v2. As they will go back and get the Sheen. The color is actually on track to being completed quite quickly. Not exactly done by this 10-minute mark, as Sniffer is going in. This Ambessa is just over the wall. He's going to wait to use his ult. Mark is going to sit there. Oh, the ult wasn't actually up. Mark flashing a bit late. Maybe not communicated that public execution was on cooldown. But the flash will be down for a good 3 minutes now. So a repeat gank can definitely be on the board for Mordhau in this mid lane. Tiger and Cassante going at it. Sniffer, the ult gets dodged out as the Cassante is under tower again. The all-out is being used onto the Tahm Kench. The W misses just by a hair. Nice ult trades going down here as Mark is in the wrong place at the wrong time, as the Symbessa is going to be able to pick up a kill. Does Yeti get one back? A nice E from the Leona rather is going to give Yeti a nice free kill, and the side of Fix Your Client is on the board after a couple really nice proactive plays. The flash being used, the flash is going to get traded on Sniffer, and Yeti is making himself known. He's going to go for that Sundered Sky first, whereas the Ambessa has picked up the Profane Hydra already. Yeah, it's a nice back and forth action. These junglers are definitely getting on the map, as Carlos Baron is going to miss the E by a decent margin there, as Spocky is tanking up quite a lot now. The nice hook landing onto this Leona. They're going to trade this as a Yeti is chilling. A little bit of action back and forth. Push is building up a little bit of a gold lead, and I don't really like how this is trending. This Sivir is going to scale quite a lot better than the Corki. And that will be a 12-minute Essence Reaver, which is quite a nice pickup. It's going to really enable the pushes down on the side of the Sivir. And the Sivir also has that Tahm Kench to stick around and help him out in teamfights. You know, if the Cataclysm Shockwave combo comes down onto the Sivir, just gobble him up, and he gets a big shield once he comes out of his belly as well. The Dragon will be available. It's going to get started by Team Push, but Fix Your Client is all hanging around and ready to contest this one. TP coming in from the Cassante. It's going to be a full contest. No TP for the Tahm Kench. He's going to get some plates in the top lane. But Spucky getting dove on here. The Leona is deep in the back line. Gets traded. He's taking a lot of damage. But the Dragon goes over to the side of Fix Your Client. And they're looking for more, as they know they might lose a couple plates on this top side to the Kench. Sunfire Cape picked up early from the Kench. He's going to be getting potentially 2 plates. But nice. Nice Dragon stacking. You know, they're countering this Sivir, scaling out quite nicely with just a lot of Dragon takes. The cull is completed, so the Flicker Blades will be the next item on the menu, and will probably come quite quickly, as the Triforce is a very expensive first purchase for the Corki. We'll get that underway though. Now the Lucidity Boots and the Malignance is picked up from the Lysandra. Lucidity Boots is going to be a nice pickup, as she's going to have that flash a lot more. Going to be able to get some good engages off, because apart from the Nort ult and the public execution, not too much engage onto this backline, whereas the Jarvan ult and the Leona ult are very good tools. Public Execution being used in the top lane, just going a little bit wide of Apex Predator. Actually, no. Autocam deceives me. He used Flash to dodge that one. Mordhau, chillin', has started building up a little bit of a CS lead on the Jarvan. Jarvan clearing a lot smoother in the early game, but is now picking it up. Now this is a very good early Merc trade purchase. Quite a smart go, because the Lissandra, the Nort, will be sort of trying to help out their ADCs and peel. But your goal as the Jarvan is just get onto the Sivir and just absolutely lock them down. The Sivir obviously has the Flash as a tool to get away, but apart from that, not much to it. As both the mid laner and the jungler will be on this bot side, Bosch is going to get caught out here. The Lissandra Tomb into the Nautilus Death Charge. That's another kill for the Sivir. That's not what you like to see. Probably should have been a little bit of communication towards the Corki to say, hey, it's not a good spot to be in. And the cross map is being traded, so this Sivir is just going to keep farming up. That's what she likes, and a little bit of kills on top of that is just an extra bonus. Quicker to these items, as you know, 6-7 item Sivir, probably one of the best ADCs in the game to have on your team in terms of just pumping out damage and also having a ridiculous amount of wave clear. So you're going to find it hard to siege onto her at any point of the game. Spucky trying to keep this mid lane tower looking healthy. Yeti getting a couple auto attacks in there. Oh, the all out being popped onto Tiger. Tiger pulled him under tower again. That has been the story of this top lane. As the Q knocks him back, the ignite is popped. Tiger is quite scared of going in for these kills. I feel like he could have picked up at least 2 solo kills now if he was just a little bit more tenacious with the damage. And Bosch is getting caught out again. A nice dodge on the dread line, but he is stuck in the alcove with nowhere to go. And that is going to be another kill onto Spooky Man. He is huge right now. This Corki pick not working out as they liked. Sometimes I feel like it is a really good job and a really smart asset. As I say that, Sniffer is looking for a solo kill onto Mark, getting caught out. Is going to get W'd one more time. Nice pickup from Sniffer there. Does blow the flash in the end. It's another 1-inch flash. You know, both of these mid laners really enjoying their sort of 1-inch flashes to get the damage off. But in that case, was definitely needed to get that W off. But as I was saying, with this Leona, yes, it's a very powerful tool for supports to roam a lot. But you need to be able to read the room. You know, there's no point in having a strong early game ADC and leaving him in a free lane with the Sivir, you know? You might as well stay there and pressure the Sivir, make sure the Sivir's not getting plates, making sure the Sivir can't get extra CS, and so sticking in lane and just being able to pressure both these champions, because yes, the Nautilus may seem tanky, but you gotta pressure. You can't let him just sit in the lane with the Sivir getting free CS, because what's the point of picking the early game Corki in the first place, you know? And the Corki has had to opt for the Merc Treads just out of pure fear of this Lissandra and this Nautilus. Fair enough. Sniffer will be able to get out of there with the E, the Glacial Path. But it looks like the Shockwave will go into Spooky Man. There is no flash on this Orianna. He will just go down. As Push is running over this fight right now, team coordination is on point. Their macro is just looking very clean compared to the side of FYC, where they're just getting caught out in rotation a little bit. It was the problem with Carlos in the first 2 games. It's not too much of a problem for this game, but Mark is just getting caught a little bit off guard in these rotations. And they will be giving over the first dragon. But we did see this story in the first game, you know, roughly down 7 kills or so. FYC was able to start taking these big team fights, getting some wombo combos off. But I think they've realized, let's not go for these team fights against these guys. They're quite good. let's just pressure them and force them into making really bad mistakes. As a nice... Another chop under tower. Apex Predator's getting caught out again. He seems to be ending up under tower quite a lot. A nice umbral path or whatever it's called getting used, but it looks like Mordhau is going to be able to get in here. All Out is being used, so he's going to be a little bit squishier, but the public execution will execute Apex Predator in this top lane. Very nice jungle pressure from Mordhau in this final game. In the first game, he was falling a little bit behind, but in this game, the Ambassador Claire, once you get that Profane Hydra, absolute monster. Typically, you'd see Jarvan trying to get on the map, get in these lanes a lot more. But at this point, he's kind of just relegated to farming, as he's just quite scared of being counterganked. His first tower might be the way of the tiger as well. Might just miss out on it as it starts hitting him. He will go for the epic battle, the one-on-one with the tower. And the first tower goes down to the side of push. And really nice early game play. I was hoping in this game 3, you know, it would be a lot closer, but it looks like just the play, the consistent pressure from push is forcing FYC to make a lot of mistakes. And they're going to have to pull something out of the bag if they want to stay in this tournament. Potentially an Eclipse second for Mordhau on this Ambassador would be a pretty good pickup. A little bit of extra survivability with that shield, and obviously a decent amount of damage as well. Is a good damage dealer, and they definitely want to keep building a lot of damage on this Ambassador. As if the Sivir gets taken out of the fight, she really is the second option. As the Lissandra does definitely do good damage, especially if she's able to get a couple passives on the map, but won't be like the crazy damage dealer that Sivir or Ambassador can do. A little bit more utility, and you can definitely see that by the build. It's funny because every single game the mid laners have bought Shadowflame second, so they both love this item and they both love doing the deeps. This Orianna has had the mission for quite a while completed, but no boots. No boots. Definitely I think lucidity is quite crucial right now. You got to have that flash up a little bit more. Obviously Merc Treads with those chain lace crushes, I think they're called. Something like that. You never know. It's getting late. It's 20 past midnight here in Auckland. So I am definitely feeling the fatigue of the series, just like FYC is. You know, they are feeling the fatigue. They're not really as being as onto it on the map as they were in game 1. Oh, looks like Carlos Baron might be getting caught out here again. Does have the flash available. Might need a flash over this Raptor wall here, but is just going to be getting CC chained. Oh, and the nice playback from the Jarvan, but is going to get locked down himself and absolutely blown up. Mordhau taking another kill back. 4-1 on this Ambassador. Has got the Axiom Arc online and is very much ripping through this side of FYC. You know, Yeti was able to find a kill there, but not much to it. As you see, as soon as he jumps in, he just gets absolutely eliminated. Now he's going to probably have to pick up a staircase as Mark G. Sung is in the wrong place at the wrong time. Is he going to burn his flash? A nice shockwave, catches 3. Will it buy him a little bit of extra time to run away? He's going to get hit by the Tarm W and knocked up. Mordhau is absolutely rampaging through these guys right now. Nice shockwave, but yeah, you know. It's a little bit too little, a little bit too late. As he was already halfway up the river, pincered and sandwiched in between 3 members of Team Push. And this will be another dragon. So they might even get the 4 Ocean Drag stake. Oh, a really nice steal from Yeti. He has been on point with these steals. Stole the Baron in game 1. What are you doing, Carlos? Those are 5 members of Team Push right there, and they will just get a free Baron off of that. Wow. Carlos pulling the trigger a little bit too much. Just getting caught out and giving up some free kills here and there. Trying to be the difference maker, but it's a little bit of a desperation play. But yeah, gotta say Yeti on those smites doing a great job. I think the Soul Drake will be definitely a big decider. But, you know, almost a 4k gold lead for the side of Team Push. And there's no Yeti around to try and steal it. 3 stacks on the Dark Seal for Sniffer. Probably wants to add a couple more to that. But 3 items on the Sivir. Wow. Absolute unit. Is 10 CS down on the Corki, but as you see, the Corki has got quite an expensive build path. Maybe we'll be going for this Collector third. Not sure if I like that one. Probably would be better off going for potentially just straight Infinity Edge. It is 2 kills to 12. 5k gold lead for the side of Push. Let me know in chat. How does Fix Your Client make their way back into this game? Is it going to be a massive shockwave? Is it going to be a big cataclysm? Is this Cassante just going to do Cassante things? Who knows? But a super early Baron. I mean, there's not too many towers down in this game as well, so it could come down to an Elder flip. Just the way that they're getting on the map, and the way that they're like using their split pushing. It's not too many towers going down, as the Sivir will take this mid tower, and as I say that, a big push is coming through. 4 members stacked up, taking these mid towers down. Pardon me. A big flash and a miss, as this might be the big shockwave to come in, and they shut down and get some gold back onto the Orianna. Yeti messing up the EQ, the all out being popped, trying to get a kill onto the Sniffer. And Sniffer goes down. Spooky Man is able to take out the Cassandra as the Tahm Kench is unbenched and he's coming into the team fight. This Sivir is an absolute nightmare. What started out for a great fight for Fix Your Client just ended up being a massive wallet diff for the Sivir. And 7-0 and 4. Spooky Man has really taken this game into his own hands. 3 big items. A big shutdown going onto the side of the Orianna though. And these junglers, you know, they don't see the value in Guardian Angel. If you watch pro games, most junglers will get a 3rd item or a 4th item GA. And that's for the express reason that they're going to be engaging and buying time. You know, there's cataclysms. This Ambessa ult, you know, like it's so it just these heavy engages and hard committal like tools just pair so well with Guardian Angel, and you're able to just buy a lot of extra time. You're able to get up and come back into the fight. Now, if I was this Orianna and I was watching that Corki steal the blue buff, that would make my blood boil, because I want that blue buff. That is my blue buff. And a bit of a bush play being set up here. I think if I had to roll the dice, Carlos Baron is going to... No, it's Apex Predator is going to be face checking this. They're all grouped up. Unstoppable gets procced, but it's not going to be enough as Apex Predator goes down. I'm assuming the dragon is just about to spawn, as that's poor timing. You know, typically Carlos will be the one face checking, but today isn't. And an interesting build. Thornmail 2nd for the Leona. Leona flash Q gets cancelled out by the flash. By the E of the Lissandra. 30 minutes on the clock. It's going to be a dragon going over to the side. And if they get 4 ocean drakes, I feel like that's going to be almost impossible for Fix Your Client to beat. And unfortunately with this Black Fire Torch build, the Oriana won't be doing as much burst damage as say a Ludens, or he won't have as much survivability as if he were to go for the Seraphs. I think in this situation this is where you go for that Seraphs first, just to have a little bit more survivability in these team fights. And then you'll still be able to do plenty of good damage. As the targets you want to hit, the Lysandra, the Ambessa, the Sivir, they're still going to be there and ripe for the picking. And you're still going to be able to get a good amount of damage off on that. Just unfortunately this Corki pick is not working out at all. As we saw, Bosch had an awesome performance on the Misfortune. Pretty easy to pilot champion, whereas Corki, after a couple nerfs, after a couple phases of patches, is a little bit harder to pilot, mind the pun, as he is a pilot himself. CS is still quite even between those two. It's just that the Sivir is on 4 items, and this Infinity Edge is still being scraped together from the Corki. It's just a rough state of affairs for the side of Fix Your Client. But Push is not ready to end this game yet, as they still want to carry this one on. As in, there is no Dusk and Dawn from the Tahm Kench, unfortunately. I wanted to see that one come out so he could get some big licks down on the side of FYC. Infinite Edge purchased for the Corki. It's going to be an absolute crucial item before this Baron. Let's hope he can put it to use, because it's going to be quite hard to get anywhere near. He's a short range ADC, and you know, short range ADC into Lysandra, into Ambessa, into Nautilus. Yeah, and he doesn't have anything to help him as well. You know, this Leona's going to be going in as hard as possible, and I think as these teams position, we're going to be looking at the last fight of the game, as all 5 members of Fix Your Client are going to be going for this tier 2, as the flank is on. They think they're on Baron, but they're actually just going to contest this. As they come within inches of seeing each other, they're just going to trade pressure on the map for that tier 2 tower. It was a nice little heads up play by Fix Your Client. They just said, look, we ain't going to fight. We'll just take the tower, we'll go home, we'll see you guys when you actually want to threaten Baron. But 7k gold lead, not as extreme as you would expect from the stats you're seeing on the score. I mean, it's 4-16 and only a 4k gold lead. So that's pretty impressive that they're able to sort of hang on, you know, keep CS up, keep CS numbers up. Mark is still about 30 CS up on the Lysandra, and then 10 CS lead on the Corki, which is pretty impressive. But as soon as the Sivir gets 7 items, who can stop him? Who can stop him? And I don't think she needs to buy GA either. She can just go straight for the Bloodthirster, and then maybe even maybe, not even sure how you'd even want to finish this off. Could even go for another Zeal item, get the Rapid Fire, could be good, get the Phantom Dancer. Yeah, and as we're looking at it, it is a bit of a wallet diff. Mostly on the Sivir though. The Sivir is very strong. Spooky Man. But nothing that a good Cataclysm can't fix. Flash and Barrier are both up. There's a little... all the summoners are up for pretty much everyone apart from that Tahm Kench Flash. So I think we're going to see a pretty explosive team fight with a lot of flashes. Why don't they just start the Baron? If they've got a much superior team fight, if they just start the Baron and force him to come on them, they don't need to try and go for 50-50. They can just turn as soon as Carlos overcommits. I think they might be waiting for this dragon to come up, or they're just hanging around the jungle trying to find another pick. It looks like it will be a rapid fire cannon coming up last with the Corki. I think both teams are feeling the pressure. You know, you don't want to be the team that loses a 4-16 gold lead, and it has happened before in this game. You know, where the big kill lead is going one way. They get spotted out in the bush again. They keep trying to make the same repeat plays, but they're going for soul point anyway. Tom does have the TP. Is in a smart position, but this is interesting. What are they doing here? I thought they were maybe even going to go like, hey, you guys can have soul, we'll have Baron, and we'll just win. The TP is coming out for the Tahm Kench. He will be unbenched in this fight, as it's going to be a clean 5v5 for the soul point. Will they go for a smite fight, or will they go for an engage? Everything is building. The tension is palpable right now as the Ambassador is positioning over the wall. A huge shockwave hits onto Spookyman. They go down. Spookyman might just die straight up on a huge cataclysm. A massive fight is unfolding as Sniffer is going low. The dragon is going low as the Corki is able to pick one up on the backside. What a huge shockwave and another huge EQ. Cash is 3. And what is happening? FYC have found the fight. And they're going to get Baron as well. What a huge team fight from FYC. Mark Shockwave absolutely flipping this game on its head. Someone clip that. That was a beautiful Shockwave, as the one thing they needed to do was hit Spooky Man on the back line, and he walks straight into the Shockwave. And it looks like Game 3, we are going deep into this game. Soul Point is picked up from Yeti. Oh, Sniffer is trying to make the desperation play, but that is not a good call, as the death times are huge. 54 seconds. They're going to be able to get a good reset off and a good push. The Sivir will be able to hold out on this. No Bloodthirster completed. Flash is still available after that fight. Was just perfectly locked down by Yeti. Wow, what a sequence of events. I think, and the gold lead is down to 2. Okay, that is craziness. And now the nerves for Push is setting in. This game was in the bag. They had everything ready, but they did not expect Mark to unleash the beast on the team fight. Nerves are in. This is, you know, this has been 2 months, 3 months of hard work for both of these teams. And all it does is come down to one team fight. Baron is on the side of Fix Your Client. And someone's client has broken down. This will give the team, both teams, a little bit of time to catch their breath. As a pause is coming at a good time. I still do think the Sivir is going to be a lot to deal with. But with Mark heading shockwaves like this, how can they lose these team fights? And now for the next team fight, you know, I'm praying, I'm hoping that this Tahm Kench is standing right next to the Sivir. Because if the Tahm Kench can munch the Sivir, the fight is essentially won. And just then, a little bit of oversight by the Tahm, by Maud. They just thought they had it. They thought they had the good fight, and that would have gone a lot differently. Like, this Corki is actually at a huge spot right now, where he has got the Lord Dom, so he's going to cut through this Nort, cut through this Tahm like butter. And, yeah, Sniffer, obviously you can tell, is feeling the pressure, as he did go for the Baron steal against Yeti, who has been hitting smites like he's been eating breakfast, which is, you know, second nature, as he wakes up and does it every morning. As Apex Predator might have made a pick here. The mobility of Mbessa, always getting someone out of dodge. And obviously, we have to struggle through the glitch straight after the pause. It's always gonna be done. Now they're grouping up on this bot side. Mark is not in position. They just don't have much siege, so unfortunately the Civ is going to be able to clear waves in one go. And it's probably going to come down to an Elder flip, if I had to guess. I mean, I'm not going to say I told you so, but I definitely told you so about 15 minutes ago. I was saying both of these teams don't want to commit to a solid push. They just want to fight. They do recognize Mark is in this mid lane, which is their main sort of sieging tool. Mordheim's going to catch him out, and Mark is way out of position after making the almost game-winning play. He's going to be way out of position and getting caught out. That is 57 seconds death timer, and on the hunt is still popped. The ghost is popped from the Lissandra. They're going to catch out Apex Predator, and after a beautiful play, it's going to be ruined by a little bit of sloppy work around this mid lane. Unfortunately, Mark just getting a little bit too greedy. Should have just been grouped as 5 with the rest of his team, as that was the opportunity. 30 seconds until he's back up again. 45 on Apex Predator. Can the tide of push get the win off? Looks like Swacky is going to be taking a reset here potentially. They're not going to try and capitalize on this, I guess. So yeah, the nerves are showing from both teams. Scuttle picked up from the side of the Civ. Gonna go back and get that Bloodthirster. But yeah, 40 minutes in. That is 6 items complete, well 5 items complete on the side of the Civ. Might just clear out one more wave before taking that B to get that Bloodthirster. This next objective is going to be feisty. Mark does have the flash, so won't be getting caught out from that public execution again. But this game, you know, these Division 2 games, you gotta love it. Coming down to an Elder flip. Both teams had opportunities to finish and maybe get an inhib and stuff, but no inhibs down yet. 40 minutes in. It's 5 towers to 4, which is not a huge tower count, by all means. 4 dragons to 2. As Tam is trying to get some pressure in the top lane, which is smart. You know, we haven't seen too much split push pressure from both of these teams. But it looks like he will be trying to get some pressure down. He's a very tanky frog, catfish, green man thing. Whereas this Cassante is still just sitting on 3 items, so he's not as tanky as he would hope to be. Both of these top laners have TP. GA, very smart pickup from the Civ. Not opting to go for the Bloodthirster, but the GA. Oh, and the banana bush bait could be huge here. Did they sense it? They could hold on. It's a game of patience right now. They're both looking for bush baits. There is no scrying orb on either side, so they can't see this. Oh, the Cassante cancels. That is huge, as the Cassante will still have his TP. Oh my god. Oh my god, a huge Lissandra ult. I mean, Oriana ult is another amazing pick. But Bosch is being taken down on the backline. Spucky is getting taken down. Oh my god, it's another huge shockwave. And the Civ, all it can do is run. Maybe get some auto attacks off. Bosch goes get it down on the backside. And it looks like Mordhau's going to take him down. He's going one-man army into the backline. Can he get more? He's got the... Oh my god, the Civ is able to pick up the kills as well. The auto attacks are coming out. Yeti is going to go down as well. Triple kill, quadra kill for the Civ. And that is going to be GG. A huge play from the Civ. The GA coming in absolutely clutch. Mordhau doing the damnedest on that backline. You know, Mark did his best, but Bosch just stepped up a little bit too far and was met with a couple boomerangs to the face. And an epic series. The scoreline will be 2-1 to Team Push. Wait, 15 seconds on the Corki. This game is not going to end here. We're going to see potentially an Elder flip as they are going to try and get 2 inhibs off of this. Spooky Man won't have GA or Flash for the next fight. Fix Your Client is still in it. But I think they won't be able to get to this Elder Dragon as fast as they want to. Mordhau's still dead for another 3 seconds. They've still got a nice ward on this, so they're going to be able to tell it's getting taken. But I don't think they're in position. It's going down quite quickly. The Sivir is chunking it out. As I just saw Bosch get blasted the wrong way. With the Redemption's coming out, but it gets secured. The Smite. They're going to take this and they're going to go for Baron. And then a big Baron push. Looks like it's going to be deciding the game. As I don't think they're going to want to try and fight this Elder Dragon. But the game still continues. 43 minutes in. It is currently 1:45 over here in New Zealand. But we will stay hyped. I'm slurring my words a little bit because I am tired. It's been a long day for me. But thank you for staying patient. Yes, they are going for Baron with the base open. I think they're going to try and get both of these buffs on the board to take this game. It is going to be a bloodthirster getting picked up for the Sivir. She's on 7 items. And this GA couldn't come sooner for the Corki. As it does, the Corki does heaps of damage as well. But no GA for this Jarvan. It's just such a bizarre call. I understand maybe getting the Frozen Heart, slow down the attack speed of the Sivir. But the GA would just be so much more of a tool, because you're so much less like worrying about if your ult is going to be a bad engage or not. You're just going to send it. Mark is trying to play with some vision here, but it looks like it's going to be a good old-fashioned base defense. Elder and Baron versus Heart and Soul and Mark's balls. Can he get off another one to save the game? All these questions will be answered in the next couple seconds, as they will take this inhib. They're not trying to commit too hard. They are scared of the Mark Shockwave, but they are going to push in these final minions, but they don't want to commit. Pings go on the bot wave. There's a huge bot wave as a huge flash goes in on Mark. What a huge engage, as everyone is going to be going down. The Sivir is heading on the back line. The Elder is popping, and FYC's chances of making it to the second round have popped like a balloon. 15% damage being taken. Everyone is going down. The Nexus is going down. 45 minutes of a banger is being treated to us, ladies and gentlemen. Team Push will meet Trap Team in the second round. Fix Your Client, a valiant effort, but unfortunately just came down to the wire. GG's. Thank you for the great series. Thanks to the players. Quick shout out to Tiger, Mordhau, Sniffer, Spooky Man, Spooky, Apex Predator, Yeti, Mark G. Sung, Bosch, and Carlos for bringing us the OBL team, the OBL fans, a banger of a series to start out the playoffs, the first playoffs of the year. So, absolute epic effort from all the players. What a game, what a series. I will be seeing you guys on Sunday for the next installment of this epic series. Trap Team will be facing Team Push in the next round, and the next set of playoffs will be, I'll just get a little graphic up for you, Ball Drills versus Brisbane Logic, and we'll be seeing those guys compete on Sunday, and they'll be facing the Stormwills on the second round. But yes, shout out to all the players. Shout out to everyone watching at home and enjoying this. I am going to take a much needed rest and a sleep. Thanks guys for watching. Some epic team fights, back and forth action. Enjoy the rest of your night and take it easy. Goodbye guys, and enjoy the rest of your weekend and your week. See ya in the next game.
We've made roadside rescue free with every AMI comprehensive